But this was already the limit of Zhang Qingsong's capabilities. It was unrealistic to expect him to fight against so many Purple Mansion cultivators by himself. The remaining Purple Mansion cultivators charged into the lake, attacking the Dali Dragon Vein, intending to sever it completely. Director. Bastards. Upon seeing the scene unfold, Qin Yushang and Wei Yushuang joined the battle without hesitation, hoping to assist Zhang Qingsong and prevent the destruction of the Dali Dragon Vein. More fools coming to die. Li Daozhong noticed Wei Yushuang's presence but remained unfazed, as they had the numerical advantage. Tianqin Taoist Qi Yin sneered coldly as he faced Zhang Qingsong, a sinister expression on his face. Leave those little girls for me. Female Purple Mansion cultivators are a rare tonic. Undying Mad Saber Su Tianyi aimed his strikes directly at Zhang Qingsong's vital points and said deeply, "Let's take down this guy together first. His strength is not simple." Earth Demon True Monarch Fu Yunhan's face was fierce as he twisted his neck, saying, "All right, let's kill this old bastard first, then crush the remaining ants." Boom! Just as Fu Yunhan's words ended, Qin Yushang launched a punch, causing the ground to shake, trying to relieve the pressure on Zhang Qingsong. Seeing this, Qi Yin held a black soul-devouring lamp, a top-grade spiritual treasure, aimed at Qin Yushang. Instantly, Qin Yushang trembled all over, her yang god fiercely disturbed, with her 3 souls and 7 spirits nearly extracted. Ha! Wei Yushuang stood in front of Qin Yushang, her mystic dragon heavy sword radiating sword qi, severing the light from the soul-devouring lamp. However, Fu Yunhan unexpectedly appeared before the two, both hands open, ready to grab their skulls. At the critical moment, Zhang Qingsong broke free from others' entanglements, a 7-star divine whip in his hand flashing like lightning, pulling Qin Yushang and Wei Yushuang behind him. Fall back. Zhang Qingsong's tone was solemn. In the face of late-stage Purple Mansion cultivators like Qi Yin, Su Tianyi, and Fu Yunhan, Qin Yushang and Wei Yushuang were still too inexperienced. It's not that they weren't strong enough, but their opponent's abilities exceeded what they could contend with. A slight mistake could lead to death and soul destruction. Panting heavily, Wei Yushuang faced the exotic realm cultivators, each practically of late-stage Purple Mansion level, feeling an overpowering helplessness. It involuntarily reminded her of her previous encounter with Su Jie. This must be what it looks like when that guy goes all out. Just one move nearly brought them to defeat. Thinking this, Wei Yushuang realized that Su Jie was on par with these exotic realm cultivators in strength. Elsewhere, Ning Xinyue shielded Su Jie, peeking from behind him, her little head darting back and forth, searching for spoils of war. However, there was no legendary treasure of Emperor Tianwu on sight, nor any sign of the Dao treasure 10,000 Dragon Pearl, greatly disappointing Ning Xinyue. What's going on? How could there be nothing? Ning Xinyue was speechless, thinking that the intense fight had to be over some earth-shattering treasure. Su Jie remained silent, his eyes intently watching the lake, initially making Ning Xinyue believe he was observing the dragon vein, only to realize that wasn't the case. Got something good? Ning Xinyue's eyes lit up, rubbing her hands eagerly. Something is hidden within the dragon vein. It could be the legendary Dao treasure 10,000 Dragon Pearl. Su Jie nodded, not participating in the chaotic battle, but heading towards the lake instead. It's you, Li Daozhong, upon seeing Su Jie, narrowed his eyes, then laughed loudly. You're courting death. Revenge will be had today, and I'll flay you and draw your tendons for sure. Su Jie turned his head towards the other, puzzled. Who are you? Li Daozhong's mouth twitched, shouting angrily. I am from the Lianzhou Li family, one of the 5 great families. Blood demon ancestor, you massacred the Qingzhou Chui family and gravely harmed our family forces. Taking this opportunity today, you'll be forever left here. Ghost Ridge Palace's Su Jie, the heavenly destiny person of the Dali dynasty. I'm curious about your capability. Even amidst the battle, Qi Yin had the time to comment on Su Jie. Among the Purple Mansion strongmen present, whether aristocratic family or exotic realm cultivators, None took Su Jie seriously due to their overwhelming numbers sufficient to suppress him. Especially the exotic realm cultivators, although familiar with Su Jie's name, they thought it was merely due to the Delhi dynasty's weakness that allowed such a demon cultivator to be so arrogant. Among them, only Jiang Shuling's face turned pale upon seeing Su Jie, quietly shuffling to the back of the crowd. "Destroy him!" Li Daozhong shouted icily, advancing on Su Jie with 3 Purple Mansion strongmen from the aristocratic families. However, someone beat him to it. A 2-meter-tall exotic realm cultivator, built like a bear, stepped in front of Su Jie. "Are you Su Jie? I hail from Donghuang Continent, Earth Demon True Monarch Fu Yunhan. If you're willing to lead Ghost Ridge Palace to submit to me, I'll ensure your safety. Otherwise, you won't leave here alive today." Fu Yunhan's face was arrogant, intending to seize control of the Delhi dynasty's throne, necessitating a power base. Building it took time, and Ghost Ridge Palace, controlling the southern 3 provinces, was a ready-made resource to save countless efforts. Li Daozhong halted. Fu Yunhan was known as the top person below the hollow on the Donghuang Continent, once defeating 2 same-level Purple Mansion cultivators at once. He saw no need to offend such a strong man. Su Jie tilted his head, turning to Ning Xinhua next to him, asking, "Maid Ning, do I seem weak?" Ning Xinhua chuckled. "This big brute must have bad eyesight. His brain's probably all muscle." "Fu Yunhan." Su Jie nodded in satisfaction and said, "Did you hear that, you exotic continent scum? Now you have 2 choices. Either kneel and be my dogs, or prepare to die." Su Jie used their own words against them. This sweeping declaration incited not just Fu Yunhan and Li Daozhong, but all exotic realm cultivators present, casting murderous glances towards Su Jie. Courting death. Fu Yunhan was furious at Su Jie's provocation. He resolved to kill Su Jie and then use his severed head to dominate Ghost Ridge Palace until no one dared oppose him further. Yet before he could act, the air filled with roaring energy. A giant hand filled his vision. It was Su Jie's preemptive strike. Fu Yunhan, experienced in battle, although surprised by Su Jie's sudden move, remained calm, countering with a punch and his yang god out of body, lion hunting rabbit at full strength, not underestimating the fight with Su Jie. In a flash, amidst the sound of flesh and bone shattering, Fu Yunhan's fist and arm shattered like tofu under an electric drill. Membranes, muscles, vessels, bone fragments sprayed everywhere, leaving the whole arm in ruins. Next was Fu Yunhan's out-of-body yang god, a grotesque figure, smashed by Su Jie's sun-like fist force before it could fully manifest power. In the next moment, Su Jie's large hand gripped Fu Yunhan's head, his fingers squeezing so tightly that his skull creaked. "Spare!" Bang! Fu Yunhan's plea was cut short as Su Jie's fingers clamped down forcefully, exploding Fu Yunhan's head into a mess of red and white, splattering everywhere. The headless body swayed a few times before crashing down, its spirit absorbed into Su Jie's 10,000-soul banner before any struggle. Silence. The surrounding area fell eerily silent, Li Daozhong covered in goosebumps. Every Purple Mansion cultivator present stared at Fu Yunhan's headless corpse with dread creeping into their hearts. Instant. It was instant. Wei Yushuang's mouth dropped open, staring wide-eyed at Fu Yunhan's corpse, rubbing her eyes in disbelief, wondering if she had fallen under an illusion technique. She believed that Su Jie's strength was comparable to the exotic Purple Mansion cultivators, which, in her mind, was sufficient proof of Su Jie's prowess. However, reality drastically altered her perception, nearly shattering her worldview. Fu Yunhan was instantly killed by Su Jie, a level of power simply absurd. Among those present, only Jiang Shuling was unsurprised, muttering to himself in a voice too quiet for others to hear. "This pervert, I knew it would be like this." The battlefield was as silent as if a mute button had been pressed. Even the battle on Zhang Qingsong's side had already stopped. Obviously, Su Jie's one-hit kill of Fu Yunhan brought an unparalleled psychological shock to everyone present. A strong man among the exotic realm cultivators was utterly powerless before Su Jie. Su Jie flicked the bloodstains off his hand, his eyes calm as if he had casually crushed a chicken to death. With Su Jie's current realm, not only was he at the late stage of the Purple Mansion, he had cultivated the Purple Mansion Celestial Palace and refined 3/10 of the moon. His innate divine body had undergone significant transformation. In layman's terms, Su Jie's current state barely qualifies as a half-step void. At such a realm, Su Jie's combat against other late-stage Purple Mansion cultivators would appear extremely simple and brutal. Overwhelming with sheer force could easily sweep aside a cluster. What are you looking at? Be honest with me. I'm talking about you guys. Seeing Su Jie's great show of power, Ning Xinyue trembled instantly, pointing at Li Daozhong and shouting. Li Daozhong frowned, seeing Fu Yunhan's end, hesitated, and stepped back. Su Jie glanced at him, ignored him, and walked to the edge of the lake. Several Purple Mansion cultivators were inside, involved in the destruction of the Deli Dragon Vein. The dragon vein formed by clouds occasionally rolled, resonating with a long vibration between a dragon's roar and a bell tolled deep underground. Get out! Su Jie swept a cold gaze. The evil chi surged, making several exotic realm cultivators' faces change slightly, cautiously jumping out of the lake, as Fu Yunhan's fate was clearly visible to them earlier, not daring to provoke Su Jie easily. Su Jie, are you going to help the Deli dynasty? Destroying this dragon vein benefits everyone. Once the Deli dynasty falls, your Ghost Ridge Palace will have hope of ruling the world. Li Daozhong, seeing Su Jie intending to protect the Deli dragon vein, became anxious for fear of failing Nine Heavens Saint Sun Meng Lei Zai's task. Wei Yushuang heard this and was immediately furious. Her almond eyes fierce and her brows furrowed, she snapped coldly. Li Daozhong, shame on you aristocratic families, favoring the royal family's grace but not thinking to repay the court, instead serving as cows and horses for exotic realm cultivators, helping tyrants. Truly unworthy as sons. Li Daozhong ignored and simply spoke, Princess Wei, our family's survival strategy is to seek gains and avoid losses. Blame your royal family. If they don't have enough power, then don't occupy this splendid land. Su Sect Master, earlier my offense, actually our family can submit to you. As long as the Deli dragon vein is severed, the Deli royal family's power will deteriorate to the extreme, and when the world is in turmoil, we can support you in becoming emperor. Li Daozhong repeatedly cupped his hands and bowed to Su Jie, emphasizing the ability to be flexible. Seeing Su Jie's strong power, he thought of first submitting to Su Jie. Once the Deli dragon vein is destroyed, the ancient continent ultimately belongs to Nine Heavens' Holy Land. Even if Su Jie becomes emperor at that time, he must abide by Nine Heavens' Holy Land and compromise with their families. Using the aristocratic families as leverage, Li Daozhong doesn't believe Su Jie wouldn't be tempted. This is a possibility of ascending to emperor and advancing to the Void Realm. With these local aristocratic families' support, the hope of becoming emperor will greatly increase. Anyone would be tempted. What a fool! Even if the Deli dragon vein isn't severed, I can still rule the world. Upon hearing Li Daozhong's persuasion, Su Jie only found it amusing. The Deli dynasty was already considered by Su Jie as a sure possession, strength being Su Jie's biggest confidence. Why need these aristocratic families' assistance? Much less sever the Deli dragon vein. The Deli dragon vein concerns the natural beings within the Deli dynasty territory. Once it's severed, various natural disasters will strike across the Deli dynasty territory, combined with the Deli royal family's cultivation of the dragon-suppressing heavenly net divine scripture, binding with the dragon vein. When the Deli dragon vein is destroyed, the royal family will be countered, their strength sharply declining. For those Purple Mansion strongmen attempting to rule the world, the more chaotic the situation, the more they can flourish. However, Su Jie doesn't need that. He doesn't want to inherit a broken country. Since he already has enough power, why make the nation he's destined to control suffer constant disasters? Su Jie hasn't lost his mind. Only those Purple Mansion cultivators lacking strength would do such a thing. Wei Yushuang felt very complicated, feeling fortunate for Su Jie protecting the Deli dragon vein, yet apprehensive of Su Jie's ambition. Such an enemy, is the current Deli royal family really able to withstand? Li Daozhong gritted his teeth and said, Su Sect Master. Severing the daily dragon vein is of significant importance. Once this task is completed, our family can fully assist Ghost Ridge Palace, helping it quell various rebel forces, govern citizens, and return you a bright sky, enabling the new dynasty to quickly emerge from its predicament, allowing Su Sect Master to peacefully prepare for advancing to the Void Realm. The mundane affairs can be managed by us. TSK, you're betting on my face, you dream well. For your aristocratic family's arrangements, this seat has long concluded. Each of you is merely my purse, not meant to manage this seat's purse. Remember your status and inferiority. Su Jie chuckled coldly. These aristocratic families still want to gamble on him, striving for success, unaware that their fate has already been arranged clearly by Su Jie. The Heavenly Dao level wonder built by Su Jie now only includes the 33-layered Heavenly Palace, with 3 other wonders lacking funds for construction. One Heavenly Dao level wonder costs 10 billion spirit stones, and these hundreds of billions of spirit stone deficits, what better targets to seek than these 1,000-year aristocratic families? Arrogant. Li Daozhong's face alternated between blue and white, just like a dye vat, angered by Su Jie's words. Su Jie wanted to do to the Cui family what he intended for the entire world. If Su Jie were to become emperor, it would sever the roots of all aristocratic families, leave them no way to survive. Su Jie didn't care what Li Daozhong thought, and he walked to the edge of the lake, his eyes bright as he looked below. In the depths of the lake, perhaps due to the previous attack on the dragon vein, a muffled thunderous noise emanated from deep within the underground layers. Boom! The next moment, the formless cloud lake at the bottom, condensing into liquid-like waves, manifested as scale-like ripples, with clouds surging violently, as if a living creature was turning underground. This sudden scene instantly attracted everyone's attention. Buzz! A dragon of mist emerged vividly from the sea of clouds. The true dragon was 1,000 meters long. Its dragon scales glowed with golden light, and its dragon claws were sharp enough to split mountains, with horns that were majestic, almost indistinguishable from a real dragon. Where this true dragon coiled in the sea of clouds, a golden bead the size of a palm slowly revealed its true form as the clouds dispersed. Upon its appearance, the void shattered, black space cracks spread across the subterranean sky, sheets of light rain transformed into tides of spiritual energy, and a vast, overwhelming power emerged, as if endless chaos erupted. The many Purple Mansion cultivators present felt short of breath, their hearts about to explode. The 10,000 Dragon Pearl. It's the Dao treasure 10,000 Dragon Pearl. At this moment, everyone's gaze became fervently intense. For the 10,000 Dragon Pearl, the legendary Dao treasure of Emperor Tianwu, had appeared. The 10,000 Dragon Pearl. Wei Yushuang's gaze was dazed. She had seen images of the 10,000 Dragon Pearl, a Dao treasure that vanished with the unexpected death of Emperor Tianwu, untouched even by their royal descendants. This was the first time Wei Yushuang truly witnessed the heirloom treasure of her ancestor. Once, Emperor Tianwu had conquered the world with this pearl, compelling the Deli dynasty subjects to pay homage, and deterring the Nine Heavens Holy Land from setting foot on the ancient continent. Ning Xinyue clung closely to Su Jie, offsetting the oppressive aura of the 10,000 Dragon Pearl, her eyes shining brightly, watching the Dao treasure unblinking, almost turning her eyes into the shape of $. Yet she knew, to obtain such a legendary Dao treasure was no simple task. The multitude of Purple Mansion cultivators present did not all possess this clarity. Seeing the 10,000 Dragon Pearl appear, an exotic realm cultivator couldn't restrain his greed, disregarding Su Jie's existence. Not even considering whether he could escape with the pearl amidst the wolves, he plunged into the lake, reaching for the 10,000 Dragon Pearl. The 10,000 Dragon Pearl is mine. This Purple Mansion cultivator couldn't help but fantasize about seizing the 10,000 Dragon Pearl and refining it, savoring the glory of becoming the Cave Void Great Emperor. But just then, as the Purple Mansion cultivator drew near, he felt the pressure from the 10,000 Dragon Pearl growing immense. At a distance of several hundred meters from the pearl, a wisp of chaos chi manifested, forming a dozen illusory dragon shadows. An invisible force field enveloped the surroundings, with each dragon shadow entwining like a real dragon, with terrifying might. The Purple Mansion cultivator's expression changed drastically. Stepping into this domain, his bones fractured under the pressure, his flesh beginning to dissolve layer by layer, his entire body disintegrating at a speed visible to the naked eye. No! The Purple Mansion cultivator tried to turn and flee, but there was no time. As soon as he completed the motion to turn, he was utterly crushed into a smear of blood, his soul obliterated by the aura of the 10,000 dragon pearl. A single wisp of the Tao treasures might exterminated a Purple Mansion cultivator, significantly intimidating everyone present. Such a Taoist weapon was unfathomably terrifying for Purple Mansion cultivators, especially since the 10,000 dragon pearl was Emperor Tianwu's weapon, crafted from the essence of countless dragon veins across the ancient continent, intended by Emperor Tianwu to refine the continent into a grotto heaven as a legacy artifact. The legend said the 10,000 dragon pearl, with a single strike, bore the power of 10,000 dragons opening the heavens, ranking among the top of all Tao treasures. Detailed examination of the chaotic chi flow around the 10,000 dragon pearl revealed it breached the membrane between reality and the Tao River, standing silently, capable of connecting to the Tao River unaided. An unprecedented event, astonishing even Su Jie. Look over there. Someone noticed new activity. The Purple Mansion cultivator's tragic death caused further dissipation of the sea of clouds. In front of the 10,000 dragon pearl, a figure crowned with a coronet stood, the back shadowed by the sea of clouds, situated in the Tao River's chaotic rift formed by the pearl's dissolution, appearing very indistinct, as if standing at the world's end. Perhaps sensing the crowd's gaze, the figure slowly turned, treading on the stars within the Tao River, drawing forth endless chaos, moving rapidly closer, fearsome beyond compare, with time and space trembling, as if the world could not contain his true form, advancing with dragon strides. Emperor Tianwu. With a bang, the scene boiled like water, everyone was stunned, and the exotic realm cultivators trembled violently, retreating involuntarily. The name of a man, the shadow of a tree, Emperor Tianwu was a universally recognized Void Realm king, boasting unmatched feats such as single-handedly defeating 3 great emperors of the Void Realm in a challenge. The exotic realm cultivators invading the tomb were instantly overwhelmed by fear upon seeing the legendary Emperor Tianwu. Great ancestor, is that you? Wei Yushuang cried tears of joy, wondering if the great ancestor hadn't died, but was in closed death retreat here? Emperor Tianwu glanced at Wei Yushuang. With a single look, a golden light flickered through space, accompanied by a melancholy voice. My bloodline bears so much. Ning Xinyue felt like a kitten seeing a tiger. Her hair stood on end with fear, taking 3 steps at a time, sprinting outside without a word. Oh my! Emperor Tianwu has risen from the grave, and they were here to rob his tomb. Not running meant waiting to die. Yet as Ning Xinyue ran a couple of steps, she saw Su Jie standing still, unmoved, and hurried back to grab his arm, anxiously saying, Su Jie, run! Why are you standing there? Are you courting death? Su Jie remained unmoved, patting Ning Xinyue's head like stroking a cat, shaking his head and saying, Don't be afraid. This is just a lingering obsession from the past, not a real existence. As soon as Su Jie finished, the image of the approaching Emperor Tianwu became more indistinct. Only his shattered golden eyes grew brighter, like 2 embedded bright moons. Such fortune! How wondrous it is! Emperor Tianwu's gaze shifted, and Su Jie felt as though Emperor Tianwu's eyes were always on him when speaking, with hints of satisfaction, astonishment, and bemusement. Su Jie felt inexplicably singled out, suspecting that it was the heavenly Tao fortune of the blue star above his head causing mischief. Nonetheless, my path is not alone. In the end, there will be those who march forward and shatter the prison of heaven, renewing immortality. Emperor Tianwu's voice was like thunder, increasingly disjointed as it progressed. Finally, Emperor Tianwu turned back and shouted, Little girl, I'm leaving. A faint voice responded from the deep space of the sea of clouds. Old man, go in peace. and have a smooth journey." Emperor Tianwu laughed heartily, his gaze fixed finally on the 10,000 dragon pearl, as his figure completely disintegrated, as if everything earlier was an illusion. But Su Jie knew that within the Tao River, where time and space were chaotic, this was undoubtedly a lingering obsession of Emperor Tianwu preserved through the ages. However, the obsession was merely an obsession, not the division of a soul and yang god. The real Emperor Tianwu was dead, for otherwise, given the emperor's nature, these exotic realm cultivators would have been crushed with a single slap. Phew! The Purple Mansion cultivators present breathed a sigh of relief. These sovereigns of their continents had been trembling before the manifestation of Emperor Tianwu's obsession, drenched in sweat. Su Jie was unlike ordinary people. Instead, he looked towards the area behind the 10,000 dragon pearl, the region where Emperor Tianwu's last gaze rested. There, misty clouds were dissipating, revealing a figure, a graceful woman. She wore a soft blue light silk dress embroidered with cloud patterns. The folds flowed like moonlight, cascading to the ground. Her black hair hung like a waterfall on her shoulders, adorned with a blue crystal hairpin. Her waist was slender, shoulders like jade, legs long. She was like a celestial maiden descending to the mortal world. Seeing this woman, others had not yet reacted when Ning Xinyue's bright eyes widened, and she shouted, "Sister!" This woman was indeed Ning Xinyue's elder sister, Ning Yunying. Yet Ning Yunying was less than 10 meters from the 10,000 dragon pearl. Dragon roars surged like waves around her, with dragon shadows manifesting as if the heavens were collapsing. The oppressive force caused her body to transform. Her body was caught between life and death, inwardly shattering under the immense pressure as if a silver vase had broken. At times she felt incredibly fragile, her strength wavering between the secret treasure and Taoist platform realms. Yet at other times, she was as powerful as a great mountain and river, her strength soaring to the Purple Mansion realm. Her cultivation realm changed continually with her body's transformation. Each time she seemed about to be crushed to death by the 10,000 dragon pearls' weight, Ning Yunying like a phoenix in nirvana. Her pale skin emerged with a faint fiery glow. Her injuries healed swiftly, and her aura grew stronger. It was known that there had been Purple Mansion cultivators who attempted to seize the 10,000 dragon pearl, only to be crushed to bits hundreds of meters away. Now, Ning Yunying was less than 10 meters away from the 10,000 dragon pearl, making it clear how much oppressive force she had to endure. If it were any ordinary Purple Mansion cultivator, they'd dissolve into fragments upon entering the abyss's depths in an instant. Seeing her sister's figure, Ning Xinyue's mouth formed an "oh." She knew her sister had gone to cultivate the 10,000 tribulations nirvana technique, but never expected her sister's chosen location would be here. 10,000 tribulations Saintess. The exotic realm cultivators present also saw Ning Yunying, and some of them evidently recognized her true identity. As the contemporary Saintess of the 10,000 tribulations Holy Land, her existence was akin to a banner, a public figure released by the Holy Land. Plus, Ning Yunying enjoyed challenging various geniuses. So many had seen her true face. Again, seeing Ning Yunying's position, actually using the 10,000 dragon pearl for cultivation, such an act would be suicidal for other Purple Mansion cultivators. But Ning Yunying managed it, and those who knew of her prowess found it unsurprising. For example, Jiang Shuling, upon seeing Ning Yunying, began to feel a headache. Meeting both Su Jie and Ning Yunying, these two fearsome stars on the same day made him regret getting involved in today's affair. It's her. Wei Yushuang, upon seeing Ning Yunying, was stunned for a long time, her gaze lost. This is the Saintess from the 10,000 tribulations Holy Land. She's probably been cultivating in Dragon Sleep Mountain for some time. Zhang Qingsong spoke slowly, glancing at Su Jie and then at Ning Yunying. Given Ning Yunying's current demeanor, it was clear this wasn't her first time here. Ning Yunying had been in the Delhi dynasty for over a decade. She likely realized the formation loophole of Dragon Sleep Mountain and seized the opportunity to enter and borrow the 10,000 dragon pearl for cultivation, while they remained oblivious. Wei Yushuang also thought of this, clenching her fists tightly, feeling a sense of powerlessness. Her own progenitor's tomb couldn't be entered by their descendants, Yet outsiders sneaked in, and today a group of thieves forced their way in. This was a shame for their royal family. What are you all looking at me for? Or perhaps, do you want this? Under the gaze of the crowd, Ning Yunying opened her eyes, a hint of a smile flickering in her cold eyes, as she pointed at the 10,000 dragon pearl. Boom! As if Emperor Tianwu's obsession had vanished, the treasure showed intelligence, and the 10,000 dragon pearl suddenly soared up, with everyone's gaze following its ascent. Originally located tens of thousands of meters underground, a golden beam of light shot skyward, directly boring a massive 1,000-meter diameter tunnel through the layers of earth as the 10,000 dragon pearl rose. This is Emperor Tianwu's obsession dissipating. The 10,000 dragon pearl is now ownerless. Whoever grabs it will own it. Someone suddenly spoke, and instantly, everyone's gaze burned hot. This was the legendary Dao treasure 10,000 dragon pearl. Even Emperor Dongshu would be filled with greed, let alone these Purple Mansion cultivators. One by one, the Purple Mansion cultivators arose to chase after the 10,000 dragon pearl, disregarding even the deadly dragon vein below ground. Compared to the 10,000 dragon pearl, a treasure that directly enhanced combat power was what cultivators dreamed of. The 10,000 dragon pearl is our progenitor's supreme treasure. It cannot be tarnished by these exotic realm cultivators. Wei Yushuang gritted her teeth, swiftly flying out. Although knowing the hope was slim, her identity made it difficult for her to watch the 10,000 dragon pearl, left by their progenitor, be taken by others. Follow the eldest princess, and act when the moment arises. Zhang Qingsong instructed Qin Yushang. Qin Yushang nodded, already harboring little hope for the 10,000 dragon pearl, but instead turned her attention to Su Jie and Ning Yunying. If anyone present had the best chance of seizing the 10,000 dragon pearl, it was these two. I am Zhang Qingsong, Director of the Heavenly Patrol Department. Thank you, sir, for your assistance earlier. Simultaneously, Zhang Qingsong slightly bowed to Su Jie, expressing gratitude for Su Jie's earlier help. Although Su Jie may not have acted for their sake, it was undeniable that Su Jie prevented the dragon vein from being destroyed, and a gentleman judges deeds, not intentions. No worries. Our Ghost Ridge Palace is also a native force on this land. No matter how we fight internally, in the face of external forces, I still understand the greater picture. Su Jie exchanged a glance with Zhang Qingsong. For this person, recognized as the strongest in the Dili dynasty, Su Jie saw that his strength was formidable, surpassing most of the exotic realm cultivators at the late stage of the Purple Mansion. No wonder he earned such a reputation. Zhang Qingsong understood and guessed Su Jie's intention from his words. The Ghost Ridge Palace might soon be mobilized to head north. Once they defeat the Dili dynasty, and the Sun and Moon renew, their opponents will undoubtedly be those exotic realm cultivators coming to seize the heavenly Dao fortune. Su Sect Master truly understands the greater good. I am impressed. Zhang Qingsong formed a favorable bond. Unsurprisingly, the Dali dynasty was indeed at its end, and Ghost Ridge Palace might establish a new dynasty. Being the director of the Heavenly Patrol Department, he had seen much of the royal family over the years, so he had prepared mentally for this, considering the future of the Heavenly Patrol Department. The Dali dynasty can fall, but the people of this world, as well as the cultivators of the Heavenly Patrol Department, need to find a new path. As for whether the Dali dynasty could rejuvenate and save a collapsing building, he didn't even consider it. With the strength Su Jie just displayed, it was enough to crush the Naotakang Dali royal family. Such top forces don't value numbers in the lower ranks. One strong person is enough to sway the battlefield, let alone someone like Su Jie, who can establish a nation single-handedly. I'll look for you to have tea in the future. Su Jie also saw through Zhang Qingsong's thoughts. This violent machine related to the Dali dynasty might be controlled first in the future, becoming the cornerstone of a stable dynasty. Zhang Qingsong said no more. After bidding farewell to Su Jie, he also soared from the depths to the surface. In the blink of an eye, only Su Jie and the Ning family sisters remained deep underground. Sister, why didn't you just take the 10,000 dragon pearl? It was so close. Ning Xinyue was anxious. It was like she had lost the 10,000 dragon pearl herself. Ning Yunying floated down from the air, landing in front of Su Jie and Ning Xinyue. Pinching her sister's tender white cheeks, she smiled and said, "Do you think the 10,000 dragon pearl is just anything? Although the obsession of the heavenly martial emperor inside it has dissipated, it doesn't mean anyone can control the 10,000 dragon pearl." Su Jie nodded lightly and said, "Maid Ning, this 10,000 dragon pearl retains the Tao seal. It's a divine weapon used for the Tao River's battles, possessing a part of its own spiritual wisdom. Making it recognize a master is not a simple task. Rather, it might even backfire and cause death. Only with enough talent and luck is there a slim chance of refining it successfully. It seems you, Miss Ning, have done well in this regard and have likely been preparing for this day for a long time." Su Jie's words were not baseless. While others might not sense it, Su Jie could feel the traces of Ning Yunying's aura left on the 10,000 dragon pearl. "I came here just for cultivation. It's purely coincidental." Ning Yunying did not deny it. Her cultivation of the 10,000 tribulations nirvana technique required self-slaying cultivation, which in turn required treasures. At her level of strength, ordinary magical treasures and even spiritual treasures had little effect, so she ultimately chose the 10,000 dragon pearl. For years now, she has repeatedly used the immense pressure field of the 10,000 dragon pearl to self-slay her cultivation, continuously leaving her aura on it, turning it into an unowned Tao treasure. Others feared the 10,000 dragon pearl might backfire and cause death. But to Ning Yunying, such near-death experiences were the best cultivation opportunities. Gradually, though the 10,000 dragon pearl still wasn't refined by Ning Yunying, she could wield a fraction of its power, especially after the dissipation of the heavenly martial emperor's obsession within it. The Purple Mansion cultivators above ground wanted to compete for this 10,000 dragon pearl, ignorant that it already had a master. Su Jie had no interest in the 10,000 dragon pearl. No matter how good a Tao treasure is, this one was formed from the essence of 10,000 dragon veins on the ancient continent. Dragon veins are special spirit veins exclusive to the Tianyuan world, governed by various natural laws, and were also refined by the heavenly martial emperor to occupy the void realm, mingling with excessive heavenly Tao fortune, falling into the category of heavenly fortune treasures. Such rarities, like Su Jie, seeking to refine the 10,000 dragon pearl, would face attitudes from Tianyuan world's heavenly Tao not much better than random strikes from a heavenly tribulation. What did the heavenly martial emperor mean by his last words? Su Jie's expression turned inquisitive. Compared to the 10,000 dragon pearl, the mysteries behind the heavenly martial emperor were far more intriguing to him. Ning Yunying had stayed here for so long, and combined with her identity as the contemporary holy daughter of the 10,000 tribulations holy land, perhaps she knew more hidden secrets. This matter relates to the heavenly martial emperor's fall, a huge secret. Are you sure you want to hear it? Be careful of being targeted by the 9 heavens holy land. Ning Yunying didn't deny it. Her noble identity allowed her access to secrets unknown to ordinary people, even matters between the heavenly martial emperor and the 9 heavens holy land. No worries. I'd like Miss Ning to enlighten me. Su Jie tossed a bag of spirit stones to Ning Yunying. Having deemed himself the master of the new dynasty, he was particularly interested in the fall of the former Void Realm Great Emperor, wondering if such a thing could happen to him in the future too. This kind of secret involved the Emperor Dongshu, and not even Zuolin from the 100 Treasures Pavilion could know. Since Su Jie stumbled upon someone like Ning Yunying who was familiar with the details, he naturally wanted to understand the situation clearly. "Oh, come on, sister, just tell us." Ning Xinyue also hugged her sister's arm, acting coy, causing Ning Yunying to glare at her, pushing away her elbow. Eventually, Ning Yunying didn't hide anything. She accepted Su Jie's spirit stones, perhaps out of consideration for the spirit stones or perhaps for her sister Ning Xinyue's pleading, maybe both, and finally said, "You should know a bit about the origins of the heavenly martial emperor, right? He was a disciple of the 9 heavens holy land, then came to the ancient continent, achieving the status of Emperor Dongshu." Su Jie shared the information he knew. That's correct. The heavenly martial emperor did come from the 9 heavens holy land, but he was merely a fire cloud disciple at the lowest level. The Nine Heavens Holy Land classifies its disciples into 9 levels, with fire cloud being the lowest. In the Nine Heavens Holy Land, teeming with talented and strong individuals, his status was akin to a servant's. Thus, the heavenly martial emperor had a difficult childhood, frequently bullied by higher-ranked disciples, resulting in his biological mother's disgrace and tragic death. After reaching adulthood, he followed a group of 9 Heavens disciples, serving as a menial servant, traveling thousands of miles to the ancient continent. At that time, the ancient continent was an orchard for the 9 Heavens Holy Land. Everything here was at their disposal, and due to a world burgeoning with conflict, it attracted numerous powerful figures. No one expected that the one to rise ultimately would be the heavenly martial emperor, originally a servant. Ning Yunying recounted the tale slowly and deliberately. Such stains about the 9 Heavens Holy Land could only be recorded and shared by other holy lands. Later, for reasons known to everyone, the heavenly martial emperor was unwilling to obey the 9 Heavens Holy Land. Not only did he sever ties with them, but he also killed 3 hollow realms belonging to the 9 Heavens Holy Land and became archenemies with them. The conflicts between them involved the ownership of the ancient continent and the fact that the heavenly martial emperor stole an immortal treasure from the 9 Heavens Holy Land. Immortal treasure? The Kunlun Mirror, a legendary weapon left by immortals. There are 5 in total, namely, the Chaos Banner, Heavenly Suppressing Cauldron, Kunlun Mirror, Immortal Slaying Sword, and Reincarnation Spear. Each possesses unparalleled power, and they are controlled by the 5 great holy lands. The 9 Heavens Holy Land controls the immortal treasure Kunlun Mirror, rumored to have the power to traverse the Tao River. Upon hearing this, Su Jie's heart trembled, thinking of the ancient bronze mirror in his mind. Could it be? Indeed, the heavenly martial emperor was immensely powerful, striving to refine the entire ancient continent at the Void Realm, touted as the greatest emperor in 1,000,000 years, unmatched since the crossing ancestor was absent. Yet ultimately, in his later years, covered in wounds from past battles, the crossing ancestor of the 9 Heavens Holy Land still made a move. In that battle along the Tao River, both sides sustained severe injuries. The heavenly martial emperor returned to the Delhi dynasty and died within 100 days. The crossing ancestor of the 9 Heavens Holy Land went into seclusion to heal and has yet to emerge, while the legendary immortal treasure also vanished. Now that the arrangements left by the heavenly martial emperor on this continent have disappeared, the 9 Heavens Holy Land will undoubtedly return to reclaim control. Ning Yunying gave a smiling glance at Su Jie. She knew Su Jie intended to vie for the throne and replace the Delhi dynasty, so the 9 Heavens Holy Land was a hurdle he couldn't bypass. Even if Su Jie crowns himself emperor and achieves the Void Realm, facing the 9 Heavens Holy Land poses a dilemma between submission and resistance, a must-consider issue. When Su Jie and the Ning family sisters emerged from underground and soared to the surface, chaos had already engulfed the area. The 10,000 Dragon Pearl hovered quietly in the air, and in order to seize this legendary Tao treasure, the exotic realm cultivators, who had initially seemed united, were the first to erupt in infighting, brandishing swords against each other, just to capture the Tao treasure. On the contrary, the strong men of aristocratic families were completely uninvolved, merely watching coldly from the sidelines. "Mr. Li, aren't we getting involved?" A Purple Mansion strongman from another aristocratic family asked, for anyone would feel tempted by a 10,000 Dragon Pearl. "I have already notified Holy Sun, and he will soon arrive." Li Daozhong snorted coldly, his sharp gaze scanning the surroundings like a knife. "Don't have any ideas you shouldn't. The ancient continent is destined to return to the control of the 9 Heavens Holy Land in the future. Even if we seize the 10,000 Dragon Pearl, we would have to hand it over to the 9 Heavens Holy Land, as we simply do not have the power to protect it. Rather than that, we might as well exchange it for some friendship with the 9 Heavens Holy Land." The Purple Mansion strongmen from other aristocratic families, upon hearing this, immediately extinguished their restless hearts, as indeed what Li Daozhong said was true. The 10,000 Dragon Pearl was not something they could meddle with, not to mention if they could even capture it. Offending the Nine Heavens Holy Land would result in the extermination of their large and prosperous aristocratic families, and they themselves would be hunted down and killed, leaving no remains. Fight on, you bunch of fools. Watching the chaotic battle among the exotic realm cultivators present, Li Daozhong's gaze sharpened. Noticing Su Jie and Ning Yunying stepping forward, he became wary. Su Jie was exceptionally powerful, not to mention Ning Yunying, as the current holy daughter of 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land, whose status and position could rival that of Meng Lei Zhe, the holy son of Nine Heavens Holy Land. Both were the greatest contenders for the 10,000 Dragon Pearl. The exotic realm cultivators similarly noticed Su Jie's presence, their eyes filled with vigilance. After all, Su Jie had just showcased his strength by swiftly killing Fu Yunhan below, a presence none could ignore. Unanimously, these exotic realm cultivators exchanged glances, gradually halting their actions, clearly wary that their internal chaos would only benefit Su Jie. As for Ning Yunying, the holy daughter of 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land, they assumed she seemed disinterested in the 10,000 Dragon Pearl. Otherwise, given the proximity to the 10,000 Dragon Pearl earlier, she could have taken control as soon as Emperor Tianwu's obsession faded. Besides, they were all members of the Thousand Immortals Association. Though 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land was one of the leaders of the association, it didn't mean the Holy Land could randomly kill these Purple Mansion strongmen. Everything had its rules under the Thousand Immortals Association, else the association would have fallen apart long ago. Moreover, the ancient continent wasn't the traditional territory of 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land. Interfering too deeply here would only provoke the Nine Heavens Holy Land's displeasure. They didn't think Ning Yunying would cause a massacre for this. In such circumstances, Su Jie instead became their greatest threat. Qi Yin, a top-tier Purple Mansion cultivator, watched Su Jie, his soul-devouring lamp casting a ghostly green light on his face as he spoke sinisterly. "Gentlemen, I have a suggestion. Let's join forces to eliminate this devil named Su Jie, then decide the 10,000 Dragon Pearls' ownership." His words instantly garnered unanimous agreement among those present. Brother Fu earlier perished at the hands of this devil, and I was close friends with him. Emotionally and logically, I have reason to slay this devil. Brother Qi's words make sense. We absolutely cannot murder each other here, handing the advantage to this beast. This devil surely has some ability, but as long as we work together, we can still sever his head. This man named Su Jie is reputed as the blood demon ancestor, and commands the vast power of Ghost Ridge Palace. If he obtains the 10,000 Dragon Pearl, we'll have no chance in the Delhi dynasty, and sooner or later, this local heavenly destiny person will seize the throne. In slaying him here, we prevent a major future disaster. Voices emerged from these exotic realm cultivators, accompanied by pairs of bloodthirsty, merciless eyes fixed on Su Jie, seemingly seeing him as meat on their chopping board. In the eyes of these exotic realm cultivators, Su Jie had earlier displayed terrifying power, but what of it? There were more than 10 exotic realm cultivators present. Could Su Jie possibly fight 1 against 10, unless he were Emperor Dongshu? It was precisely because Su Jie's strength was too formidable that they deemed him the primary target to eliminate. Otherwise, with Su Jie lurking, none dared to fight to the death. Ha! This is what they mean by repeated injustices lead to self-destruction. Li Daozhong's face lit with joy, not expecting Su Jie to become besieged, making the capture of the 10,000 Dragon Pearl all the more assured. In contrast, Qin Yushang, the White Tiger Hall Master, turned slightly pale, worriedly glanced at Su Jie, with his blood vitality rising like wolf smoke, ready to intervene in the battle. Zhang Qingcong observed Qin Yushang's anxious expression, seemingly comprehending something, his gaze flashing with clarity. And as Su Jie, the primary party, originally came to watch the drama, unexpectedly became the focus. Upon hearing the exotic realm cultivator's words, instead of anger, Su Jie laughed. "Interesting. Since you wish to seek death, then show me your skills and risk your lives to entertain me." Arrogant, facing death yet still boasting, Qi Yin sneered coldly. As the instigator of the plan, he didn't step forward first, clearly cautious of Su Jie's strength. The other exotic realm cultivators felt similarly, each hoping someone else would go first to draw fire. Although their numbers were 10 times Su Jie's, none took the lead to attack. Seeing this scene, Su Jie's face became even more mocking, as if looking at a group of clowns. Doing big things sparingly, yet you dare come to besiege me. Hehehehe. Since that's the case, I'll teach you all what combat truly means. You group of worthless people, watch closely. Before the words even fell, Su Jie's figure had already disappeared from the spot. Be careful. So fast. Join forces. Don't let him pick us off one by one. The exotic realm cultivators had a panic-stricken look on their faces, as the scene of Fu Yunhan being instantly killed replayed in their minds. This time, having been prepared, everyone threw out talismans and defensive treasures, while their Yang gods emerged, transforming into bizarre and imposing Dharma forms with the imprint of the Tao Chaos Creature's template, creating an impressive spectacle. The Yang God is a conventional combat method for Purple Mansion cultivators, especially for those at the late-stage Purple Mansion, who have established the Purple Mansion Divine Palace, thereby enhancing their Yang God and combat power further. 10 Dharma forms emerged above the exotic realm cultivators' heads, each one grotesquely shaped, surrounded by the aura of the Tao River, causing the heavens and earth to tremble. Where is he? Has he hidden? This person is quite fierce in close combat, but now that we are protected by Dharma forms, wanting to engage in close combat is nothing short of a fool's dream. This person is just bluffing. To think I was so vigilant just now. Turns out he's merely a coward, probably already fled. It's normal. This person is a fallen demon cultivator known for being shameless and ignorant of dishonor. Just now, he deliberately provoked us into using defenses, while he escaped quickly. These exotic realm cultivators, seeing the absence of Su Jie's figure and bolstered by their numbers, assumed Su Jie had fled and let out numerous taunts. Some even regretted not catching Su Jie. But just then, the smug expressions of the exotic realm cultivators hadn't fully faded when a profound darkness overshadowed the cold moonlight overhead. It was a massive, mountain-like creature with a dark color, and its broad wings like clouds hanging from heaven. The membranes and blood vessels between the wings wriggled like giant serpents, whipping up a storm that scattered the clouds and revealed the myriad stars in the deep sky. The overall appearance was like a round, plump meatball, but its size was astonishing, resembling a man-made island floating in the sky. In the center, a whirlpool like a bottomless black hole emitted a light of eternal destruction, as if gazing into the universe's deep void, sending a chill deep into your bones. As the exotic realm cultivators raised their heads to look, they couldn't help but tremble, feeling an unmatched terrifying oppression emanating from above, not to mention the sheer size. The Dharma form that appeared before them was more than 10 times theirs. Dharma aspect, chaos. Accompanied by a cold voice, the single whirlpool eye of Chaos Dharma form briefly blinked, and a brilliant divine radiance shot out, instantly illuminating hundreds of miles bright as day. A dead soul among the exotic realm cultivators suddenly panicked because this divine radiance pillar was headed straight for him. Swoosh! The speed of the divine radiance pillar was too fast. The Purple Mansion cultivator couldn't react at all, let alone escape, and had no choice but to face the reward of the divine radiance pillar. In an instant, the first to engage with the divine radiance pillar was the Yang God Dharma form of this Purple Mansion cultivator. Similarly enormous and known as the eight-legged demon elephant, towering 1,000 feet tall with ivory like 2 crescent moons, its bones and skin thick as billions of rocky layers, renowned for its brute force and defense. But it's precisely such a Dharma form that, under the bombardment of the divine radiance pillar, had its 1,000-foot-tall demon elephant divine body pierced through as if made of paper. Upon contact with the demon elephant, the radiance pillar expanded tens of times its size, forming a front narrow, back wide beam of destruction, instantly bursting open the elephant's body and continuing its unstoppable descent. The eyes of the Purple Mansion cultivator were full of despair, as the various protective talismans and treasures before him were like bubbles, the protective screen flickering briefly before vanishing. In the next moment, his flesh and blood faced the divine radiance pillar directly, turning to ashes under the extreme destructive light. When the radiance dissipated, A spiral crater with a diameter of 10,000 meters remained on the ground, unfathomably deep, with residual energy waves crystallizing the crater's surface like glass. The high heat twisting the air while magma erupted like the blood, oozing eye of a demon, making one's scalp tingle. Dare you call this Dharma aspect? Such shameful spectacle. Su Jie stood atop the head of the Chaos Dharma form, his lips curving into a cold arc. After advancing to the late-stage Purple Mansion, using the 33-layered Heavenly Palace as a template, Su Jie spent 100 billion spirit stones, using the Heavenly Dao Spectacle as his advancement resource, bringing not only an unparalleled innate divine body but also a Yang God advancement at the soul level. The Purple Mansion Divine Palace alone, compared to others, is likely not even a tenth the size of the 33-layered Heavenly Palace, naturally contributing to the formidable Yang God domain. Externally, this manifests as the ability to instantly kill cultivators of the same level, for others Yang Gods are entirely different from Su Jie's. How can such a Dharma aspect exist? Wei Yushuang's normally icy expression couldn't hold. Her mouth dropped open as she stared dumbfounded at the Chaos Dharma form blocking out the sun. She had never seen anyone's Yang God so enormous and terrifying. Wow, that's amazing! Ning Xinyue hugged Ning Yuning's arm, hopping excitedly, seeming even more thrilled than Su Jie himself, her face sporting a proud expression, as if she were the one who acted. Truly formidable. Ning Yuning nodded slightly, an unusual glint in her eyes. By this time, the group of exotic realm cultivators was shocked by the astonishing power of the Chaos Dharma. While fear gripped them as they met Su Jie's icy gaze, they saw the single eye of the Chaos Dharma rotating, and another divine radiance pillar was being prepared. This guy isn't planning to stop. Let's attack together, or we'll all die here. Qi Yin, with a grim face, shouted furiously. His innate viciousness sparked, and he charged at Su Jie with the soul-devouring lamp in hand. The other exotic realm cultivators followed closely. For such a terrifying Dharma, they had no choice but to fight desperately for a chance at victory. Struggling in vain. Su Jie's expression remained impassive as the Chaos Dharma beneath him blinked its single eye once more. A divine radiance pillar shot forth, lighting up the dark night sky and simultaneously annihilating both the Yang God and physical body of an exotic Purple Mansion cultivator. In just a few breaths, after 2 more eye blinks, the 33 Heavens Palace's ability to absorb spiritual energy over a vast area ensured his spiritual power was immense. Su Jie continuously drove the Chaos Dharma to attack without any sign of exhaustion. Absolute power brought absolute destruction. By the time the exotic realm cultivators reached the Chaos Dharma where Su Jie stood, 4 of them had already fallen one after another. The remaining 6 glared fiercely, simultaneously launching treasure techniques and wielding spiritual treasures to try to kill Su Jie. Su Jie didn't even look, as the Chaos Dharma beneath his feet spread wings like hanging clouds, blocking all the attacks. Although Chaos Dharma's defense was considered average compared to its extreme offense, it depended on who it was compared with. Clearly, these exotic realm cultivators posed no threat to the Chaos Dharma. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! How could this happen? How could I die here? Qi Yin channeled all his power into the top-grade spirit treasure, the soul-devouring lamp, as wails echoed from its wick. The dim soul lamp cast its light on the Chaos Dharma, forming a breach in the chaos made of Soul Yang God, but it healed in an instant. His action drew the attention of the Chaos Dharma. With the vortex eyes blink, Qi Yin's every struggle and resistance crumbled instantly. His physical body disintegrated in the radiance, leaving only the soul-devouring lamp to drift down, caught steadily by Su Jie. Witnessing such a tragic scene, and with Qi Yin, their leader, dead, the remaining exotic realm cultivators completely lost their morale, turning to flee without hesitation. Su Jie showed no mercy, driving the Chaos Dharma to call each one by name, sending them to report to hell. Only the last exotic realm cultivator, acting on a sudden inspiration, rushed towards the 10,000 Dragon Pearl, hoping Su Jie wouldn't dare to attack it, provoking its artifact spirit's self-defense. However, this exotic realm cultivator overlooked Ning Yuning nearby. Suddenly, a ferocious and fearsome Dharma appeared behind Ning Yunying. It looked like a sheep's body with a human face, eyes under the arms, tiger teeth and human claws, emitting an infant-like cry. It was no smaller than the Chaos Dharma, perhaps even slightly larger. This was Ning Yunying's Taotai Dharma. Upon its appearance, the Taotai Dharma opened its abyss-like mouth, directly crushing the exotic realm cultivator, devouring him and his Dharma whole. Visibly, the Taotai Dharma grew larger. This was the Taoyu's divine skill, Feast, akin to the Chaos Dharma's divine radiance pillar, capable of devouring everything, enhancing itself by consuming similar entities like a Dharma. This in turn made the Taotai Dharma's divine skill progressively more formidable, allowing for more devouring, which was why the Taotai Dharma was so massive. In a brief time, the battle had completely ended, leaving only Su Jie's Chaos Dharma and Ning Yunying's Taotai Dharma occupying their respective domains, as if on an ancient battlefield where fierce beasts contended, with evil qi spreading across the lands, silencing all things. After everything ended, the exotic realm cultivators who dared to attack Su Jie were completely annihilated, leaving only one survivor, Jiang Shuling. These idiots. Good thing I didn't join in. Jiang Shuling's face was pale, full of lingering fear in his heart. If he had followed the herd just now, he would definitely be a corpse by now, or no, there might not even be a corpse left, obliterated into ashes by that Chaos Dharma. Now that the Purple Mansion realm exotic realm cultivators who entered the Delhi dynasty were almost entirely wiped out, Jiang Shuling felt a sense of dread. With Su Jie here, the future new dynasty would most likely fall into Su Jie's hands, and he no longer had any chance to compete. Su Jie looked at Ning Yunying's Taotai Dharma aspect, such a colossal Dharma aspect, indeed worthy of being the holy daughter of 10,000 tribulations' holy land. At this moment, the two Dharma aspects stood across the sky. Su Jie's Chaos Dharma aspect and Ning Yunying's Taotai Dharma aspect facing each other. Li Daozhong witnessed this scene, saw the tragic deaths of many exotic realm cultivators, and felt a chill in his heart at Su Jie's terrifying combat power. Chaos Dharma aspect, Taotai Dharma aspect. Even among the four great fierce beasts, these two's Dharma aspects are too overwhelming. Wei Yushuang bit her lip, knowing more intelligence due to the inheritance left by Emperor Tianwu within the royal family. Dharma aspects use the Tao Chaos creatures as templates, but Tao Chaos creatures also have varying strengths. Among them, Chaos, Taotai, Chongqi, and Taowu, these four Tao Chaos creatures are called the four great fierce beasts, recorded by Emperor Tianwu, proving the terrifying nature of these four beasts. But even so, whether it's Su Jie or Ning Yunying, the strength of their Dharma aspects has already far exceeded expectations. Especially the grand divine power of the Chaos Dharma aspect just now. Its ultimate destruction obliterated all enemy defenses, with each burst of the divine radiance pillar taking away an exotic realm cultivator. This, in Wei Yushuang's knowledge, has already far surpassed the category of normal Purple Mansion cultivators. He's become stronger. Qin Yushang's beautiful eyes revealed a trace of brilliance. She had intended to step in, even though she knew she might not be of much help. Yet, Su Jie's combat power was more than 10 times stronger than she had expected. Last time, when she followed Su Jie to overthrow the esoteric Buddhism, Qin Yushang witnessed Su Jie's battle. Back then, Su Jie's strength was already quite astonishing, but barely within her understanding. Now, after several years, Su Jie's power was beyond her comprehension, defeating 10 exotic realm cultivators single-handedly. How exaggerated it was. It's important to know that these were not just any random people. The exotic realm cultivators appearing in the ancient continent were all quite powerful, or they wouldn't dare come to the ancient continent to contend for the heavenly Tao fortune, seeking the chance to break through to Hollow. But even such a group of powerful exotic realm cultivators were wiped out by Su Jie as easily as chopping vegetables. Their combat power levels were simply not in the same tier. Su Jie didn't care what others thought. After the battle ended, he withdrew the Chaos Dharma aspect, began to tidy up the spoils, collecting the storage bags and various treasures of those exotic realm cultivators. Gradually, the smile on Su Jie's face grew more satisfied. These exotic realm cultivators were all masters of the Purple Mansion level. Their wealth wasn't ordinary. Su Jie made a huge fortune. He now had a glimpse into constructing a new heavenly Tao spectacle. Su Jie, this 10,000 dragon pearl is not yours to covet. When Su Jie approached the place where the last exotic realm cultivator fell, only 100 meters away from the 10,000 dragon pearl, Li Daozhong could no longer hold back and called out. He thought Su Jie was going to seize the 10,000 dragon pearl, and couldn't help but feel anxious. If Su Jie took the 10,000 dragon pearl, he would lose significant favor with Meng Lui's. Su Jie stopped, turned to look at Li Daozhong. Almost forgot. There's still you guys to deal with. Su Jie then turned and walked towards the Purple Mansion strongmen of the aristocratic families along with Li Daozhong. In an instant, Li Daozhong froze all over. The faces of the other Purple Mansion strongmen belonging to the aristocratic families inevitably showed a color of fear they couldn't conceal. The scene of Su Jie slaughtering those exotic Purple Mansion cultivators was still vivid in their minds. They now faced Su Jie with only the path of slaughter before them. Su Sect Master, we are people of the Nine Heavens Holy Land. Even if you establish a new dynasty in the future and become the Emperor Dongshu, you'll still need to obey the Nine Heavens Holy Land. I advise you not to deceive yourself. Li Daozhong quickly blurted out his backing, taking a step back with each word. Upon hearing this statement, Su Jie raised an eyebrow. This was the second time he heard about the Nine Heavens Holy Land after Ning Yunying. Even these aristocratic forces had been subdued. The reach of the Nine Heavens Holy Land was indeed long. Seeing Su Jie stop, Li Daozhong thought that the name of the Nine Heavens Holy Land had worked. A hint of smugness flashed in his eyes. No matter how strong Su Jie was, in front of an enormous entity like the Nine Heavens Holy Land, he was just a slightly stronger ant. Su Sect Master, I might as well tell you the truth. The Saint Heir of the Nine Heavens Holy Land is about to arrive. If you offer the 10,000 Dragon Pearl and ally with the Nine Heavens Holy Land, along with our family's assistance, with your strength and talent, establishing a new dynastic golden age, achieving the status of Emperor Dongshu could be easily done. This is a chance that others can only dream of. You should think it over thoroughly. Li Daozhong wore a gentle and polite smile as if everything was in his control. Unfortunately, if his words were directed at another Purple Mansion cultivator, they might immediately agree and choose to bow to the Nine Heavens Holy Land. After all, the opportunity to become Emperor Dongshu is extremely rare, and submitting to a holy land is not disgraceful. However, Li Daozhong picked the wrong target. Even without the ancient continent, Su Jie had the fundamental resources of Blue Star. With time he could refine the moon and become Dongshu, and in the future even refine Blue Star. It would just take a lot of time. But acquiring heavenly Tao fortune from the Tianyuan world could speed up this process. The so-called Hallowed Void is nothing more than something within Su Jie's easy grasp. Moreover, Su Jie never felt the Holy Land was all that remarkable. He rose from a mere outer disciple to the brink of the Hallowed Void, relying on his unparalleled talent, extraordinary wisdom, and a bit of help from the Kunlun Mirror. As a genius, Su Jie has his own goals. To him, the Dali dynasty and the entire ancient continent are off-limits, so how could he possibly hand it over to the Nine Heavens Holy Land? Are you done talking? Su Jie's expression remained unruffled. He slowly raised his arm, clenching his 5 fingers. The faces of Li Daozhong and the others changed dramatically, feeling a surge of murderous aura and spiritual power sweeping over like a mountain and sea. If you're done talking, then go die for me. As Su Jie's words fell, he punched out. The earth trembled. The clouds in the sky dome shattered, forming a splendid golden fist imprint. A noble Purple Mansion cultivator screamed as the fist imprint struck him. All his defensive measures were useless, and ultimately his upper body was blown apart, blood splattering everywhere, leaving only 2 legs standing rigidly on the ground. Su Jie, you madman, the Nine Heavens Holy Land will one day return to the ancient continent. We are under the jurisdiction of the Nine Heavens Holy Land. Don't you know what you are doing? Li Daozhong's face turned pale as he shouted hysterically. Su Jie's madness exceeded his imagination. Is there anyone else in this world who doesn't fear the Nine Heavens Holy Land? Does Su Jie think he is the Emperor Tianwu? Rambling on and on, even if the Holy Sun you mentioned came, I would still kill him without hesitation. You vampires clinging to the dynasty, Your only use is to provide me with wealth. Su Jie sneered. His form turned into a phantom as he instantly charged at the noble family cultivators. Bang! One noble purple mansion cultivator was about to escape when Su Jie descended upon him, stamping him into the dust, the earth coiling with dragons and snakes, forming a spectacular depression. As for that purple mansion cultivator, he was already crushed into a pulp by Su Jie. I'll fight you to the death. Another noble purple mansion cultivator saw that Su Jie wasn't going to let them go, blocking his way. His face turned frenzied as he was ready to fight desperately. Boom! Yet in the next moment, this cultivator let out a piercing scream. Countless pale corpse hands emerged from the ground, forming an endless sea of corpse hands. The purple mansion cultivator caught inside fought with all his might, but couldn't eliminate them all. The destructive pale corpse hands outnumbered those still emerging from the earth. Ultimately, the purple mansion cultivator's entire body was covered by the pale corpse hands, wrapped into a giant ball of flesh, with sharp teeth growing from their palms, biting all over his body. Amidst his hopeless wails, the sea of pale corpse hands churned continuously, and as time passed, his cries grew weaker and weaker. Finally, when the pale corpse hands dispersed, only a pile of bones remained. Another noble purple mansion cultivator ran towards Wei Yushuang, shouting, "Princess, save me. Please save me. Our Fengzhou family is willing to eternally pledge allegiance to the Dali dynasty." But he didn't think. Su Jie didn't even regard the Dali dynasty. Asking Wei Yushuang for help was destined to be futile. When this purple mansion cultivator finally reached Wei Yushuang, he felt a sharp pain in his back. A bloody hand pierced through his left chest, gripping his heart from the chest and drawing it out. Gasp! This noble purple mansion cultivator's pupils contracted, eyes filled with despair, reaching out towards Wei Yushuang. Appearing behind him, Su Jie acted swiftly, his 5 fingers suddenly clenched. As his heart was crushed by Su Jie, blood splattered onto Wei Yushuang's battle armor in front of him, leaving spots like a blood-stained thorny rose. You bastard! Wei Yushuang glared fiercely at Su Jie, feeling that he did it on purpose. It seems the princess understands the big picture and has not harbored the criminals. Su Jie laughed, patting Wei Yushuang's shoulder, and in the process, wiped the blood on his hand onto her shoulder, making her face darken even more. Having done all this, Su Jie turned around, walking towards the last noble purple mansion cultivator, who was in Li Daozhong's direction. At this moment, Li Daozhong felt weak all over, and when he saw Su Jie approaching, he forgot to run away. Perhaps he knew it was useless to escape in front of Su Jie. The Holy Sun will not let you go. Li Daozhong's lips trembled, and he already started to regret it. If he had known Su Jie was so crazy, he should have fled long ago. Where is the Holy Sun you speak of? Tell him to come out and save you. Su Jie looked like a villain in a movie, his face full of mockery. With a swift kick from his left foot, he directly broke both of Li Daozhong's legs, twisting them into a bizarre angle, causing Li Daozhong to collapse to the ground. Su Jie lowered his head and stepped on Li Daozhong's left hand, grinding it underfoot, instantly turning it into a bloody mess, causing Li Daozhong to scream continuously. It seems you're not very valued in the 9 heavens holy land. Clinging to them, you're just an old dog whom others don't take seriously. Su Jie raised his foot again without haste, crushing Li Daozhong's remaining right hand into pulp. Ah! Li Daozhong's screams echoed far into the night. He cried bitterly, squirming to distance himself from Su Jie, making a final struggle as if it would save his life. TSK, I guess I overestimated you. Since your holy sun didn't appear, I can only send you on your way. As these words were spoken, Su Jie's right hand was already striking down at Li Daozhong, sending a massive spiritual power-formed palm print flying through the air. Stop! As if responding to Su Jie's call, a cold snort suddenly came from the sky dome, followed by a flash of lightning striking down, landing right in front of Li Daozhong. Rumble! It was a human figure, surrounded by blinding lightning, who swung his fist to collide with the spiritual power palm. A violent shockwave burst forth, throwing Li Daozhong away like a rag doll, displacing his internal organs and causing blood to spill from his mouth and nose. Yet Li Daozhong showed none of his previous despair. Instead, his eyes shone brightly. Holy Sun, you've finally arrived. The figure that descended was indeed Meng Lei Zhe, the Holy Sun of the Nine Heavens Holy Land. Li Daozhong would never forget this aura. In the clash of fists and palms, Meng Lei Zhe's whole body emitted intense lightning, with rays even splashing onto the nearby Su Jie. When all the shockwaves and dust had settled, the man stood calmly, hands behind his back, his presence steady like an ancient pine, exuding an aura of greatness. Su Jie looked at the lightning lingering on his arm, shook his arm to dissipate it, then lifted his head again to scrutinize the lightning-illuminated man before him. This person had frost-colored long hair, sharp eyebrows, cold eyes, and a fierce temperament, like a sharp blade unsheathed, or raging thunder, imparting a feeling of overpowering dominance. Are you the Holy Sun of the Nine Heavens Holy Land? Though Su Jie phrased it as a question, he had already confirmed the identity of the person before him. Meng Lei Zhe did not reply, merely giving Su Jie a bland glance before turning his gaze to Ning Yunying in the distance. It seemed that compared to Su Jie, Ning Yunying was more worthy of his attention. What are you doing here? Meng Lei Zhe spoke, Ning Yunying's appearance introducing a complication to his plan to seize the 10,000 Dragon Pearl. None of your damn business. Ning Yunying's answer was similarly blunt and rough. Both hailing from holy lands, among this generation's 5 holy lands of saints and holy daughters, she, cultivating the 10,000 tribulations nirvana technique, was indeed the strongest of the young generation. Meng Lei Zhe, finding no gain, finally refocused his attention on Su Jie. Holy Sun, this is Su Jie, the blood demon ancestor from Ghost Ridge Palace. In his attempt to seize the 10,000 Dragon Pearl, he has slain numerous exotic realm cultivators and our noble family powerhouses, repeatedly disparaging the Nine Heavens Holy Land, paying you no heed. You must stand up for me. Li Daozhong's wailing turned hopeful upon Meng Lei Zhe's arrival, envisioning a chance for vengeance. Meng Lei Zhe, hands behind his back, eyes like lightning, looked arrogantly at Su Jie, exuding an unparalleled dominance. So you are Su Jie. Although Li Daozhong is just a dog I've raised, you should still respect his master. You have 2 paths now. Submit like him as my dog or die. His words carried an undeniable, domineering authority, as the whole ancient continent was merely a nursery for the Nine Heavens Holy Land, and a mere demon cultivator was insignificant to Meng Lei Zhe. Hearing this, Su Jie laughed, reminiscing how long it had been since someone acted so audaciously in front of him. Ha ha! Respect the master even when beating the dog, you fool. I'll fight both the master and the dog together, and that's my answer to you. Amidst his wild laughter, Su Jie's gaze turned icy cold, his arm muscles bulging as he suddenly threw a punch, aiming directly at Meng Lei Zhe's head. Don't know life and death. With a cold snort, Meng Lei Zhe also swung his fist forward. Thunder surged, and the rampant thunder transformed into a roaring giant lion, opening its bloody mouth to bite Su Jie's head. The mainstream cultivation in Nine Heavens Holy Land predominantly involves various thunder element techniques, and their disciples are most adept at using thunder. As the saint heir of the current generation of Nine Heavens Holy Land, Meng Lei Zhe's cultivation of the Nine Heavens Thunder Decision is the most top-notch thunder skill. It is said that upon reaching deep mastery, one can transform into the original source of thunder, simulating the heavenly thunder of the 33 heavens, possessing terrifying might. Boom! In an instant, both parties clashed together. The thunderous giant lion that Meng Lei Zhe transformed into seemed to be struck by a heavy hammer, distorted and deformed. Crack! The sound of bones cracking faintly echoed in the void. A red and a purple figure separated after a touch. Su Jie stood firm, his entire body burning with vigor. On the opposite side, Meng Lei Zhe retreated dozens of steps before barely steadying himself, his face flushed red, and his right arm constantly trembling, muscles twitching and spasming. The collision of pure strength between the two, which is stronger or weaker, is evident at a glance. How is this possible? Meng Lei felt the pain in his arm and the terrifying strength, his eyebrows furrowing involuntarily. He often uses Thunder Forging Body. In terms of physical strength alone, he is enough to dominate the Purple Mansion realm. Regular Purple Mansion cultivators have only the part of being crushed by him. Meng Lei never imagined that one day he would be surpassed in pure strength by someone's crushing demeanor. TSK, worthy of the Saint Heir of Nine Heavens' Holy Land. A bit of ability, you qualify as a punching bag. Su Jie twisted his neck, giving a commentary on Meng Lei's strength. Compared to those exotic realm cultivators who shatter with a touch, Meng Lei's strength, to be fair, is much stronger, at least enough for Su Jie to properly stretch. Thunder Battle Body. Meng Lei's eyes turned cold. Stirred by Su Jie's words, he uttered with heavenly constitution. Dark clouds spread above his head, sprawling endlessly, silver snake-like lightning darting within the clouds, illuminating the night sky. Rumble. In the next moment, within the void where the dark clouds lay, countless thunders suddenly struck down, entwining around his body, forming a majestic thunder battle armor. Sizzle. Meng Lei clutched a shining arc of lightning, absorbing the boundless sky dome's thunder. A 4-meter-long thunder spear manifested in his hand. He appeared akin to a deity commanding thunder, majestic, sacred, noble. This is the attack's secret technique of Nine Heavens Thunder Decision. Harnessing myriad thunders to form a battle body, doubling physical strength. Every strike carries the destructive attribute of thunder. The force of attack is exceedingly terrifying. Demon Cultivator. You are qualified to make me use this move. Be proud. Meng Lei's voice roared like rolling thunder. The thunder god's spear held to the ground, thick bolts of thunder spreading in all directions. Purple-blue thunder covered the sky and earth, the destructive heat and high temperature like volcano eruptions. Terrifying. Amidst this vast thunder, Su Jie bathed in it, his stride unwavering, each step toward Meng Lei. What's with your constitution? So resilient to thunder. Meng Lei saw this, his brows furrowed. His thunder couldn't affect Su Jie much. Is this level of thunder just tickling me? Su Jie sneered. His purple cloud thunder body had returned to innocence, transforming into the innate divine body of the flesh. Yet the former characteristics of the purple cloud thunder body still remained on Su Jie. Even the innate Tao thunder of the 33 heavens couldn't harm Su Jie, let alone Meng Lei's level of divine thunder. Far from it. Meng Lei's eyes filled with battle intent. He shouted, "A remarkable innate divine body. Let me experience your skills. Hope you can endure longer." The thunder spear's light and shadow swept through the air, instantly reaching Su Jie, aiming at his head. Su Jie opened his left hand. Fingers like a blade, viciously struck the tip of the spear. Boom! Thunder surged like ocean waves. Behind Su Jie, a mountain, 1,000 feet tall, crumbled instantly. Layers of earth were sent flying into the air. Black spatial fissures spread all around. What? Seeing Su Jie's physical body collide directly with the thunder spear, Meng Lei's expression changed slightly. Su Jie advanced, the innate divine body like an ancient divine mountain. 96,000 acupoints on his body erupted with radiant spirit light, wielding unmatched divine power, pounding down. Boom! Meng Lei blocked with his spear but was struck by Su Jie with a punch that made the spear vibrate and hum. If this thunder spear wasn't transformed from his original divine thunder, it would have been forced out of his hand. Boom! 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 Su Jie's innate divine body more violent than those mountain-destructive thunders. Each punch and kick carrying the might of an ancient giant. In an instant, the two collided hundreds of thousands of times. Meng Lei retreated all the way, golden blood flowed from his 7 orifices, and his internal organs were displaced. The battlefield changed completely due to their confrontation. Mountains exploded. Lakes were evaporated by blood and thunder. Each strike of the thunder spear resulted in a canyon 10,000 meters long. Underground magma burned and flowed. With each hit of the innate divine body, A basin was pounded into the ground. Subterranean rivers sprayed water flowers dozens to hundreds of meters high. Their battle moved from the ground to 10,000 meters high in the sky. Clouds torn apart. Space shattered in collisions, sweeping the currents of truth. Bang! With another punch landed, the thunder spear in Meng Lei Zhe's hand shattered into pieces. Su Jie's fist charged on, hitting Meng Lei Zhe's chest. Meng Lei Zhe spat out a mouthful of blood, his body about to be pushed back. But Su Jie grabbed his arm first, firmly fixing him in front of himself. Meng Lei Zhe's face changed dramatically, foreseeing what would happen next, losing his composure. Su Jie revealed a sinister smile at the corner of his mouth. His body surrounded by a sea-like potent blood power, unleashed his fists and feet at Meng Lei Zhe, like this human sandbag, all at once. Crack, crack, crack. A series of sounds came from Meng Lei Zhe's body, including the shattering of his thunder battle armor, the breaking of his bones, and even teeth being knocked out by Su Jie. Enduring dozens of blows from Su Jie, Meng Lei Zhe turned entirely into a bloodied figure, golden blood splattering wildly, transforming from a majestic thunder god to a broken and miserable beggar. Holy Sun, how is this possible? Witnessing this scene, Li Daozhong was completely dumbstruck. To him, Meng Lei Zhe, noble and godlike, being brutally beaten by Su Jie was an unbelievable event. Not only him witnessing this, Wei Yushuang and the others were equally incredulous. Meng Lei Zhe, esteemed Holy Sun, was beaten so miserably. It's not that they thought Su Jie would lose, given Su Jie's acknowledged strength, but they didn't expect the fight to be so one-sided. In Su Jie's hands, Meng Lei Zhe had absolutely no room to fight back. Only Ning Xinyue watched joyfully, clinging to her sister's arm, boasting, "Sis, did you see? Su Jie is amazing." The little smug expression was like a girl bragging about her husband. Very strong. Ning Yunying nodded, curiosity in her eyes, intrigued by Su Jie. Smack! Su Jie's big slap landed on Meng Lei Zhe's face, his teeth flying chaotically, his face swollen like a fluffy bun. Meng Lei Zhe didn't even think, turning to fly away, wanting to create distance. Close combat was clearly not his forte. If it was long range, he could consume Su Jie with thunder, till Su Jie was exhausted. Yet, he didn't know, Su Jie's Purple Mansion Divine Palace was the 33-layered heavenly palace, with unending spiritual energy, coupled with blood sea devouring sky demon skill that feared no injuries. Exhausting Su Jie was impossible. Nevertheless, Su Jie didn't give Meng Lei Zhe the chance. He wasn't planning a prolonged battle, although not fearing consumption. "Why are you fleeing? Hold on. I haven't fought enough yet," Su Jie pursued, stomping Meng Lei Zhe from the sky onto the ground like an adult beating a child, leaving Meng Lei Zhe completely defenseless. Why can you break my thunder battle body?" Meng Lei Zhe still struggled, his thunder battle armor in tatters, eyes full of resentment and confusion. "Your body is too weak," Su Jie sneered, raising his foot again, aiming to stomp on Meng Lei Zhe's head. "Damn demon cultivator. Do you really think I can't defeat you?" Meng Lei Zhe gritted his teeth, pulling out a small, vibrant green bamboo from his storage bag. This was a mature innate spiritual object. Originally, he intended to rely on no external objects, showing his might, planning to settle Su Jie directly, especially with Ning Yunying, the 10,000 Tribulation Saintess, watching. He didn't want to be seen as relying on treasures. Yet, Su Jie's combat prowess far exceeded his expectations, shattering all his pride with this unparalleled innate divine body. The green bamboo in Meng Lei Zhe's hand grew wildly, its leaves dazzling, the bamboo lush, radiating life force. Like a divine bamboo emerging from chaotic clouds, the bamboo had innate thunder Tao patterns. Su Jie's descending foot was lifted by the bamboo, pushing him to 10,000 meters high, with strands of innate Tao thunder shattering space, reaching Su Jie, causing tingling across his body. Innate spiritual object. What's this? Despite his body being electrified, Su Jie's eyes shone brightly. Meng Lei Zhe had such a fine item. Mixed element divine sky bamboo. Though it's relying on treasure, it's a part of my strength too. Your defeat. Blame only your lack of treasures. Meng Lei Zhe's eyes filled with killing intent, having suffered enough from Su Jie's beating. Now, with the bamboo in hand, his confidence restored. This mature, innate spiritual object was extremely powerful, aligned with thunder attributes, perfectly complementing his cultivation technique, amplifying his combat power. Holy Sun! Li Daozhong shouted anxiously, wanting to remind Su Jie of his own innate spiritual object. The fact that Su Jie destroyed the esoteric sect Buddhism and seized the holy Bodhi tree wasn't a secret to someone of his level. But before he could finish, Meng Lei Zhe already charged with the mixed element divine sky bamboo towards Su Jie. Meng Lei Zhe wielded the bamboo like a long spear, with innate Tao divine thunder crackling, each blast capable of shattering space, chaotic chi flow surging. Su Jie clenched his right fist, smashing it fiercely. A purple halo flashed, the 1,000-mile night sky torn by thunder. Su Jie retreated for the first time, stepping back 2 steps. Looking at his fist, Su Jie's hand was charred black, white bone faintly visible, though healed instantly, with the blood sea devouring sky demon skills 12 levels blood dripping rebirth. These injuries were trivial. Ha ha ha! How strong is your innate divine body? Mature innate spiritual objects in the hands of the powerful can even wound Emperor Dongshu. Meng Lei Zhe laughed maniacally, his features grim, seemingly venting all the frustration from earlier. The mature form of an innate spiritual object is a more terrifying existence than a top-grade spirit treasure. Such naturally nurtured entities could even harm Emperor Dongshu. Many Tao treasures are forged by Emperor Dongshu using a mature innate spiritual object as the foundation. Of course, Purple Mansion cultivators relying on innate spiritual objects to wound Emperor Dongshu is nominal. In actual combat, such a thing is nearly impossible. Good. Good. Truly good. Truly wonderful, wonderful. Su Jie laughed maniacally as well, his eyes brimming with endless joy, staring at Meng Lei Zhe's mixed element divine sky bamboo, like a lustful wolf seeing a naked beauty. Meng Lei Zhe's heart tightened, inexplicably feeling uneasy, and said, "Laugh at your impending doom. Mixed element divine sky bamboo. Break it for me." He activated the mixed element divine sky bamboo with all his might, and it grew taller and wider like a Rui Jingu Bang, eventually reaching into the clouds, transforming into a pillar supporting the sky. The sky dome was filled with innate Tao divine thunder, brewing a catastrophe scene akin to world destruction tribulation thunder. Ultimately, billions of thunders struck down fiercely. This immensely powerful attack could definitely break through Su Jie's innate divine body's defenses. Just as Meng Lei Zhe thought about this, amidst the shining bolts of billions of thunders, a 10,000-foot holy Bodhi tree bathed in thunder, leaves with arcs of lightning flashing around the 9-colored treasure light, blocking the rampant innate Tao thunder unleashed by the mixed element divine sky bamboo. Crackle! The mixed element divine sky bamboo constantly erupted with brilliant divine thunder, ceaselessly bombarding, shattering the void and cracking the earth with abyss-like fissures. The holy Bodhi tree held up a magnificent canopy of 9-colored treasure light, continually scouring the ground, with thousands of roots roaring like mighty dragons, stirring the sky dome. The universe seemed split in two. One side, a sea of destructive catastrophe thunder. The other, a ceaseless rotation of 9-colored treasure light, roots tangled like a forest sea tide. The two mature, innate spiritual objects entangled and fiercely battled against each other, making the sun and moon pale. Innate spiritual object. Meng Lei Zhe's eyes bulged, eyeballs almost popping out. On an entire continent, innate spiritual objects are limited, not to mention mature innate spiritual objects, which can be deemed the strongest treasure under Emperor Dongshu. Considering his identity as the 9-heaven Saint Sun, he only received the mixed element divine sky bamboo from the Holy Land. What virtue or capability does Su Jie possess to claim such a treasure? Meng Lei Zhe's heart was filled with envy and anger, with a hint of inescapable fear. If everyone possesses mature innate spiritual objects, the gap will be eliminated, meaning he might lose. As Meng Lei Zhe pondered this, Su Jie had already moved swiftly closer. Scared pale by Su Jie's attacks, Meng Lezhe hurriedly recalled the mixed-element divine sky bamboo. Only with this innate spiritual object in hand did he feel a bit of security. Otherwise, he'd face Su Jie's invincible innate divine body, unable to withstand a direct confrontation at all. Clutching the mixed-element divine sky bamboo, Meng Lezhe swung it at Su Jie, sending a cascade of innate Dao thunder down upon Su Jie, trying to force Su Jie to retreat. But at that moment, Su Jie flipped his palm, retrieving the 9th grade sacred lotus. The golden holy lotus's illusion turned the sky dome upside down, extinguishing all the innate Dao thunder aimed at Su Jie, blocked by the 9th grade sacred lotus. Meng Lezhe was stunned. Another mature innate spiritual object, a mere demon cultivator from the ancient continent, being more extravagant than him, the 9 heavens saint sun. The next moment, Su Jie had already reached Meng Lezhe, grasped the mixed-element divine sky bamboo, and tugged it towards himself. "Let go! Bastard, you're the one who should let go." The mixed-element divine sky bamboo erupted with intense thunder, forming a thunder domain protecting Meng Lezhe, while the 9th grade sacred lotus's golden brilliance spread, nullifying the innate Dao thunder. Both objects were locked in a stalemate, until Su Jie brought forth the holy Bodhi tree and brutally smashed it against Meng Lezhe's forehead. The mixed-element divine sky bamboo, being proficient in attack but not defense, couldn't withstand the pressure from two innate spiritual objects. The expanding thunder domain kept compressing until, after dozens of smashing blows, Meng Lezhe's head buzzed, unable to hold onto the mixed-element divine sky bamboo anymore, which Su Jie seized. Looking at the seized mixed-element divine sky bamboo, feeling the chaotic and terrifying destructive energy within. This innate spiritual object was undeniably powerful, capable of manifesting various heavenly tribulations, which are the embodiment of the heavenly Dao's attacks in the Tianyuan world, the implications of which are self-evident. Su Jie grew more and more satisfied, unable to resist laughing. "Ha ha ha, 9 heavens saint sun, your treasure is excellent, but it's mine now." BFF. Meng Lezhe watched helplessly as the mixed-element divine sky bamboo was taken away. His face turned ashen, alternating between blue and red in fury, spitting a mouthful of blood, nearly fainting from Su Jie's bandit-like actions. "It's over. It's completely over this time," Li Daozhong muttered to himself, his face pale. "Once Meng Lezhe is defeated, what hope does he have left? Su Jie, that devil, won't show any mercy." Just as Meng Lezhe had suspected, after acquiring the mixed-element divine sky bamboo, Su Jie immediately put it into his storage bag, saving it for future study. Su Jie has more important matters to attend to now, and that's to send Meng Lezhe on his way. Swish! Being locked onto by Su Jie's cold and ruthless gaze, Meng Lezhe trembled all over, like a lamb being preyed upon by a fierce tiger. A chill ran from the sole of his foot straight to the top of his skull. "I am the 9 heavens holy land saint sun. If you don't want to be on bad terms with 9 heavens holy land, return the mixed-element divine sky bamboo immediately. Our 9 heavens holy land, seeing your decent strength, can support you to become Emperor Dongshu." Meng Lezhe already felt fear in his heart. At this moment, he brought up 9 heavens holy land, not hoping Su Jie would really return the mixed-element divine sky bamboo, but to remind Su Jie of his background, lest he truly intends to kill. Su Jie sneered disdainfully, walking towards Meng Lezhe with a blood sea billowing behind him. 9 heavens holy land? Huh, trying to scare me just with a name. I don't have the habit of leaving the tiger to return to its mountain. Cutting the weeds without removing the roots, they will sprout again with the spring breeze. Since Su Jie had completely offended Meng Lezhe, tearing each other's masks off, he would not believe that they could now turn hostility into friendship, hoping for 9 heavens holy land's forgiveness. Such naive thoughts never occurred to Su Jie. To Su Jie, a dead enemy is a good enemy. What use is the so-called 9 heavens saint sun with a background? Meng Lezhe's face changed drastically. His heart nearly stopped, and he turned to fly and escape. A wise man avoids present danger. Although fleeing is a loss of face, It could at least save his life, allowing future revenge on Su Jie. As long as he's alive, he's still the Nine Heavens Saint's son, and Su Jie is just a vile demon cultivator from ancient continent. Their future accomplishments are destined to differ. With the idea that porcelain does not clash with tiles, Meng Lezei fled swiftly, not looking at Li Daozhong who he left behind. Holy Sun, take me with you. Take me away. Li Daozhong shouted anxiously, but Meng Lezei completely ignored him. Suddenly, Li Daozhong's vision flashed, and Su Jie's face appeared in front of him. Spare me! Li Daozhong's heart was scared with dead souls wildly emerging, and just as he begged for his life, he saw Su Jie's large hand coming, feeling his vision go black as all consciousness returned to chaos. With a single strike shattering Li Daozhong's head, Su Jie looked up at the fleeing Meng Lezei. The corner of his mouth curved in mockery, and he snapped his fingers lightly. Then the holy Bodhi tree standing on the ground, towering into the clouds, began to move. Rumble! Countless trunks like divine dragons turned over, rapidly chasing after Meng Lezei from behind. The densely packed roots were thick and gnarled, intertwining in layers, blocking all paths for Meng Lezei. Get out of my way! Meng Lezei's face lost all color. His whole body exploded with dazzling thunder power, attempting to tear through the obstruction of the holy Bodhi tree, but it was impossible. On the contrary, under Su Jie's control, the holy Bodhi tree was much stronger than when in the hands of esoteric Buddhism. Relying on his vast supply of spiritual power, Su Jie urged the holy Bodhi tree, towering tens of thousands of feet, as high as over 100,000 meters, its canopy obscuring the sky, branches like dragons, roots like a group of demons dancing wildly, spreading over 300 miles, making anyone despair with a glance. Even in Meng Lezei's prime, it would be difficult to escape the pursuit of such a holy Bodhi tree, let alone with his currently critically injured body. He could barely hold on for less than half a minute, accompanied by 9-colored treasure light rotation. Countless roots pressed against thunder from all directions, wrapping around Meng Lezei. Ning Yunying, for the sake of 9 heavens holy land. Meng Lezei felt the breath of death, completely losing his composure, calling to Ning Yunying for assistance, hoping she would lend a hand for the sake of the holy land's face. Sorry, not interested. Ning Yunying responded crisply, with absolutely no intention to intervene. Ning Yunying, you bitch, our 9 heavens holy land. Meng Lezei cursed fiercely, realizing everyone was against him as death approached. Humph! I'm targeting you. Who asked you to be arrogant? Ning Xinyue puffed her cheeks, hands on her hips, angrily pointing at Meng Lezei's nose. Crack! Crack! Su Jie raised his hand, 5 fingers grasping void, instantly increasing the strength of the holy Bodhi tree. Meng Lezei's entire body's bones burst with sound, his body tightly entangled by roots, his skin torn, his face becoming terrifyingly ferocious. Just as Meng Lezei was about to be killed by strangulation, a jade token originally hung around his neck suddenly emitted a cracking sound, stirring a terrifying pressure shaking the heavens and the 10 earths. This unforeseen change surprised Su Jie somewhat, and he accelerated the holy Bodhi tree's force, aiming to completely destroy Meng Lezei's body. But from within that jade token, a thick aura continuously spread, unexpectedly providing Meng Lezei protection. The once dying Meng Lezei immediately showed a desire to live, beginning to struggle. Void Jade Token, how afraid of death this guy is. Ning Yunying saw this scene, cocked her head slightly, and gently tapped her white jade hand, intending to destroy the Jade Token first. However, an earth-shattering aura rapidly formed, with the Jade Token suspended, like a great sun releasing endless energy, the surrounding spiritual energy fluctuating like tidal waves. Seeing this, Ning Yunying directly changed targets, smashing her fist towards Meng Lezei's head, cooperating with the holy Bodhi tree's crushing. Bang! Meng Lezei's head was like a burst watermelon, completely exploding, and his soul was torn to shreds, the gratitude for survival in his eyes completely disappearing. Ning Yunying was not one to be forgiving, As Meng Lezei had just insulted her, she was now taking complete revenge. Almost at the moment his head exploded, the roots of the holy Bodhi tree also crushed Meng Lezei's body into pulp, countless bone shards and flesh squeezed out from the gaps in the tree roots. Agree on the code word. In a moment you say, "It was I who killed him. 9 Heavens Holy Land won't dare do anything." Ning Yuning turned to Su Jie and said, "Using this to protect Su Jie." Su Jie was still pondering the situation when he saw, at the very spot where Meng Lezei had died, a 1,000 tall humanoid phantom manifesting. It was a figure wearing the emperor's robe, under the mysterious crown, eyes as dark as the depths of the sea cast shadows, seeming capable of piercing through the 3 souls and 7 spirits. Rules of ancient seal markings flowed around his body. Behind him coiled the 6 Yao trigram, and within the trigram a miniature divine mountain stood, emitting an eerie green light under the starlight. When he fully revealed himself, the entire void emitted cracking sounds of collapse. Primordial chaos chi spread wantonly, as if the world could hardly bear his strength. Emperor Dongshu. Su Jie felt a faint sense of danger, instantly understanding the identity of the visitor. Emperor Donghuang, from the 9 Heavens Holy Land of the Cave Void Realm. Remember the code word. Ning Yuning's secret voice transmission entered Su Jie's ears, confirming his speculation. Indeed, it was a great emperor. However, it was not the real body of the great emperor, but a phantom of his power, evidently meant to protect Meng Lezei, given as an amulet. When this phantom of Emperor Donghuang fully took shape, billions of chaotic chi flows coiled like waterfalls. It was like an ancient god, as the sky entangled by the holy Bodhi tree was pried open. He stepped out from the void, coming from the Tao River into the present world. The imperial power spread across the entire Dali dynasty. Whether it was the northern border, southern domain, East Sea, or West Desert, countless living beings trembled. Even flowers and grass shivered endlessly under this imperial power. Those cold, merciless divine eyes of the great emperor swept down. The void emitted cracking sounds unable to bear the weight. Wei Yushuang and others felt their blood freezing. Ning Xinyue hid behind her sister, not daring to show herself. Instead, the 10,000 dragon pearl seemed to sense the emperor's aura, vaguely emitted the roar of a true dragon, causing a low hum, with 10,000 ancient true dragons as large as mountains seemingly struggling to break free. Emperor Donghuang's eyes narrowed, slightly reigning in the imperial aura on his body, showing respect to the 10,000 dragon pearl as a Tao treasure. "Who dares kill my 9 Heavens Saint Son?" Emperor Donghuang's voice boomed like thunder. He could see the situation at a glance. His Holy Land's Saint Son was killed. It wasn't just about Meng Lezei's death, but someone daring to challenge the dignity of the Holy Land. A slap to the face of their 9 Heavens Holy Land. Was it the work of the Holy Daughter of 10,000 Tribulations? Is 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land declaring war on our 9 Heavens Holy Land? As he spoke, Emperor Donghuang's gaze locked onto Ning Yuning, the Holy Daughter of 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land. On the scene it seemed only she could accomplish this. Ning Yuning laughed nonchalantly. "It was me and I did it." However, before Ning Yuning could finish her words, a voice interrupted. It was Su Jie's voice, drawing Emperor Donghuang's attention. Ning Yuning's cold eyes showed some surprise, unable to help glaring at Su Jie. "What about the agreed code word?" Su Jie looked up and made eye contact with Emperor Donghuang, without the slightest trace of fear in his eyes, only unconcealable fighting spirit. In Su Jie's perception, although the phantom of Emperor Donghuang before him felt threatening, it was far from fatal. Since that was the case, Su Jie had no intention of hiding behind a woman.
Su Jie,
"Do you want to die?" Qin Yushang and Ning Xinyue heard Su Jie's directed mission and couldn't help but look anxious. This was a great emperor. Even though it wasn't his true form, it wasn't something Meng Lezei could compare to. Emperor Donghuang lowered his brow like a god. Behind him the 6 Yao trigram flashed. The void shattered inch by inch. The Tao River opened like a giant mouth, instantly swallowing Su Jie within. Within the Tao River, Su Jie and Emperor Donghuang stood facing each other. The towering imperial aura of the great emperor at this moment was fully revealed. no longer worried his actions would disturb the 10,000 dragon pearl as an absolute Dao treasure. Normally, a purple mansion cultivator under such overwhelming imperial pressure would have long fallen to their knees, unable to mount any effective resistance. However, Su Jie stared fiercely at the other, his eyes blazing with the spirit of battle. The aura is indeed intimidating, but do you think this will easily defeat me? Make your move. Let me see just how mighty the so-called Emperor Dongshu is. Su Jie smiled faintly, treating the great emperor's pressure as if it were a gentle breeze. Mere ant. Emperor Donghuang's face remained expressionless. The 6-yao trigram behind him evolved. A fierce Dharma form soared up to the sky. Its form was like an ox, towering 10,000 zhang, with one leg and azure skin. Once it appeared, the Tao River was swept by storm. Thunder roared like war drums. That was its roar. This was the Dharma form Kuei Ox. Compete with Dharma forms? Su Jie's brow split open. The Chaos Dharma form from behind emerged, tall as a mountain. The single eye of the Chaos Dharma form blinked, directly clashing with the roar and thunder of Kuei Ox. In the clash, the Chaos Dharma form slightly trembled, pushed back by the shockwave. Kuei Ox's body expanded violently, its single leg stamping heavily, as if the whole world had turned into a war drum. The thunderous war sound transformed into an endless thunderstorm cloud. 1,000 eyes. Su Jie snorted coldly. The wings of the Chaos Dharma flapped, and blood-red vertical marks suddenly appeared on the heavy wings, then opened countless scarlet vertical pupils. An array of divine radiance pillars burst forth, like the laser cannons from 1,000 interstellar battleships firing in unison, tearing the thundercloud storm into tattered rags. Is this so-called Emperor Dongshu nothing more than this? Su Jie crossed his arms. At this moment, Emperor Donghuang was just a thought, much like Emperor Tianwu's obsession attached to the 10,000 dragon pearl. This was only a portion of Emperor Donghuang's power, incomparable to his full form. However, for him to be evenly matched in a direct collision of Dharma forms was something Emperor Donghuang couldn't tolerate. If word got out, others wouldn't mock Su Jie, but rather look down on him as a void emperor. No wonder you could kill our holy land's saint's son. The 12 pearls on Emperor Donghuang's forehead clashed and jingled together. He had a mind for a quick resolution, as behind him, the phantom of a mountain range gradually turned from illusion to reality. Inky black mountain ridges cascaded to the sky, the cliffs sharp as blades, steep and menacing, resembling a giant beast skeletal remains cleaved by a deity. Iron-gray rock faces were pierced by pine trees, with gnarled roots tightly gripping the crevices. Indeed, a stretch of overlapping mountain peaks. Evidently, this was the pocket world Emperor Donghuang had refined. Strong ant, you wish to challenge me, then I shall grant your wish. Void Spirit Vein, the 10,000 Peaks Mountain. Emperor Donghuang intended to swiftly conclude the battle. After all, he was just a thought and could not last long. As soon as he finished speaking, the Phantom Mountain range became more substantial, overshadowing the heavens and earth, descending upon Su Jie. This was a sprawling spiritual energy mountain range of untold weight. Even though it was only a partial strike, it hadn't even come close yet, when sounds of disintegration came from the Chaos Dharma, with cracks appearing on the Dharma form. Even Su Jie's flesh was stirred, like a pebble cast into a lake. His skin rippled with vast undulating wrinkles, his robust, innate divine body shaken. If that's the case, Su Jie showed no trace of fear. Instead, he laughed wildly, brought his hands together, and clapped heavily. Come forth, moon! Smash it for me. A bright crescent moon hovered above Su Jie's head, emitting a gentle, ethereal silver glow, serene and azure, casting a layer of dreamy white gauze over the vast Tao River. But this beauty lasted only a moment. The plate-like full moon rapidly expanded in size. It loomed larger, revealing its true form. An enormous gray-white sphere over 3,000 kilometers in diameter, pockmarked with craters. Like the lady seen from afar turns out to have a pockmarked face up close, a deceit indeed. Upon closer inspection, it became clear the moon was incomplete. Not a full plate, missing at least 2/3, But even so, it remained an astonishing natural satellite. Emperor Dong Huang displayed astonishment in his eyes, a mix of shock and uncertainty. Though it seemed long, only 2 breaths later, the one-third moon projection summoned by Su Jie collided head-on with the 10,000 Peaks Mountain Phantom. It was as if the Tao River paused for a moment. In the next instant, the world lost its colors, spatial ripples spread ceaselessly, and the Tao heavenly sound roared in all directions. The entire 10,000 Peaks Mountain issued a dull roar upon impact, the spirit vein land twisting and breaking like silk torn by giant hands. The ash-gray rock layers cracked and split like steamed rice cakes, ultimately exploding into billions of rock fragments. You actually possess a pocket world, and such a peculiar one, too. Emperor Donghuang furrowed his brows deeply, having poured all his strength into the 10,000 Peaks Mountain. He lost the capacity to fight when it shattered. That's the worth of Blue Star, you earthy bumpkin. Su Jie laughed freely in his heart, his half-step void worth confirmed through Emperor Donghuang, leaving no future threat, and he continued directing the moon to attack. Though the moon also broke apart badly, its momentum was unchecked, violently impacting the 1,000-foot phantom of Emperor Donghuang, shattering it into pieces and scattering it to dust. Su Jie spat a mouthful of blood, his joints crackling like they were wrenched apart. Forcing the power belonging to the cave void realm was a heavy burden on Su Jie's innate divine body. Injured as he was, Su Jie wore a smile, for he had won this battle. Though Su Jie only defeated an intent body split off from Emperor Dongshu, and not his true form, it didn't obscure the fact of his victory. So that's what a cave void is, nothing more. Su Jie laughed into the sky, never before so confident. At present, Su Jie had only refined 1/3 of the moon. Once he refines the entire moon, truly achieves the cave void, his strength will increase tenfold. A complete moon as a grotto heaven, not something ordinary void emperors could compare to. Su Jie had learned from Emperor Donghuang, and this gave him immense confidence. Baro, why hasn't Su Jie come out yet? Let's go in and take a look. Near Dragon Sleep Mountain, Ning Xinyue's delicate face was full of anxiety. Even though Su Jie had only entered the Tao River for just over 10 minutes, the opponent was an Emperor Dongshu. No matter how confident Ning Xinyue was in Su Jie, she was still uncertain at this moment. I'm looking. Ning Yuning shook her head. The environment inside the Tao River was very complex, and Emperor Donghuang's entry with Su Jie into the area required deduction. That demon cultivator is being targeted by an Emperor Dongshu. It's likely to be a bad outcome this time. Wei Yushuang's expression was somewhat complex at this time. Although she wasn't familiar with Su Jie, the impression he left on her was incredibly profound. Strong, invincible, shameless, etc. But even such a demon path giant was completely inadequate in front of a real Emperor Dongshu. Su Jie isn't as simple as he seems. There's a saying, a bane can last for 1,000 years. He will come out. Qin Yushang instinctively refuted. Just the blood sea devouring sky demon skill alone made Su Jie's life-saving abilities seem miraculous. But although Qin Yushang said this, her clenched fists also showed her inner anxiety. Just as everyone was still guessing about Su Jie's life or death, a crack appeared in the void ahead, and a voice came out. I just came out and heard someone cursing me to die. Who hates me so much? Along with the voice, Su Jie also appeared from within the Tao River. Su Jie, you scared me. Ning Xinyue's small face was full of joy and she was the first to run over, hugging Su Jie's arm, jumping happily. Qin Yushang originally ran 2 steps as well, but upon seeing Ning Xinyue's actions, she stopped. Wei Yushuang's expression was incredibly shocked. Seeing Su Jie seemed more frightening than seeing a ghost. You're okay? Wasn't Emperor Donghuang trying to kill you? Pointing at Su Jie, Wei Yushuang's tone was very high. Su Jie's appearance made her feel unbelievable. You mean Emperor Donghuang? I killed him long ago, otherwise how could I come out? Su Jie smilingly looked at Wei Yushuang and walked up to her. Are you surprised that I came out alive? You're really disappointed, aren't you? Su Jie patted Wei Yushuang's shoulder. At this time, Wei Yushuang had no reaction, shocked by the news Su Jie revealed. That was an Emperor Dongshu in the cave void realm. Wei Yushuang lost her composure, even if Emperor Donghuang was just a thought entity. His status was there, not something a Purple Mansion cultivator could dare to meddle with. If Su Jie said he delayed the Emperor Dongshu's thought entity until it naturally dissipated, that was within Wei Yushuang's imagination. But to directly kill it made her feel incomprehensible. What kind of strength must it take to achieve that? Even more unbelievable than Su Jie bullying Meng Lezhe. I didn't expect such a character in the ancient continent. Ning Yuning's gaze revealed a hint of curiosity about her sister's sweetheart. She might be the one on the scene who had the most clear understanding of Su Jie's strength. But even so, Su Jie's actions this time in killing Emperor Donghuang somewhat still surprised her. I only killed a cave void avatar, it's nothing. Su Jie shook his head. At this point for him, the real target was to refine the moon and achieve Hollow. Only by killing the real Emperor Dongshu would be something to be proud of. I don't know whether to call you modest or arrogant. Ning Yuning was speechless, and also understood why Su Jie had the confidence to stand out just now. Let's not talk about this. What's the background of this Emperor Donghuang? Su Jie let go of Wei Yushuang and asked Ning Yuning. This time he had completely offended the Nine Heavens Holy Land. Other opponents Su Jie might not care about, but an Emperor Dongshu was still worth being cautious of. I know. Ning Xinyue proactively raised her hand, giving Su Jie a background introduction about Emperor Donghuang. This Emperor Donghuang hailed from Donghuang continent, ascended to emperor status 50,000 years ago. Among the Emperor Dongshu there's an unwritten rule: there usually isn't just one emperor, but those who can be named directly after a continent often are the best among the Emperor Dongshu, otherwise they wouldn't deserve the title. However, this isn't absolute. For example, Emperor Tianwu wasn't named after Emperor Canggu, but his strength far surpasses Emperor Donghuang. Su Jie nodded. No wonder Emperor Donghuang's 10,000 Peaks mountain was so astonishing. Turns out the opponent wasn't weak among the emperors. Emperor Donghuang realized a bottleneck 30,000 years ago, later left Donghuang continent, joined the Nine Heavens Holy Land, ranking among the Nine Heavens Holy Land protectors, with high status and authority. Also, as far as I know, Meng Lezhe once apprenticed under Emperor Donghuang. Although Emperor Donghuang's disciples weren't limited to one, Meng Lezhe was undoubtedly the most outstanding among them. Ning Yuning added a sentence, revealing why Emperor Donghuang would appear here and not hesitate to resort to violence. Miss Ning, can you tell me how many Emperor Dongshu are there in Nine Heavens Holy Land? Su Jie asked about the most crucial matter. Since Nine Heavens Holy Land was the enemy, understanding the enemy's powers was key. Ning Yuning glanced at Su Jie, shook her head and said, I can tell you clearly, I don't know. The lifespan of an Emperor Dongshu extends up to 50,000 years, and if they refine life-extending treasure pill and immortal root, the lifespan can be prolonged further. The existence of Nine Heavens Holy Land is already unverifiable, so it's unknown how many Emperor Dongshu are there. Don't even mention Nine Heavens Holy Land. As the 10,000 Tribulation Saintess, I don't even know how many Emperor Dongshu are there in 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land. I can tell you that, apart from disciples and managers, the Nine Heavens Holy Land has two protectors, for venerables. Those who can hold this position are basically Emperor Dongshu. Upon hearing this, Su Jie felt a bit worried, while Ning Xinyue whispered softly in Su Jie's ear, Hey, Su Jie, how about you go with my sister to the 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land to avoid trouble? That way, the Nine Heavens Holy Land might not dare to hassle you. Despite her quiet voice, Ning Yuning heard it and glared fiercely at Ning Xinyue. Su Jie shook his head and said, No need. I'll handle my own matters myself. Besides, even if I went to the 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land, it wouldn't necessarily be up to your sister to decide. Ning Xinyue's consideration was too simplistic. Even if the 5 great holy lands compete with each other, should the news of Su Jie's presence in the 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land be discovered by the Nine Heavens Holy Land, the 10,000 Tribulations Holy Land would most likely choose to hand over Su Jie, unwilling to risk a war with the Nine Heavens Holy Land. Su Jie was aware of this, and even Ning Yuning's influence wouldn't help. Agreeing to such a plan would only leave Ning Yunying in a dilemma. Two protectors. For venerables. Su Jie muttered to himself. He didn't doubt the intelligence Ning Yunying provided. Based on Su Jie's own investigation of the Tianyuan world's 7 continents, each of the 5 great holy lands directly controls one, marking these as their direct territories. The remaining 2 continents, however, are not under any single holy land's authority, allowing the 5 great holy lands to compete among themselves, with the Donghuang continent being one such example. Each continent witnesses a bloody storm of competition during eras of great contention, eventually giving rise to a new Emperor Dongshu who governs the continent for a period before eventually joining their respective holy land. For instance, the ancient continent originally belonged under the jurisdiction of the 9 Heavens Holy Land. The Emperor Dongshu of the ancient continent would usually join the 9 Heavens Holy Land until the rise of Emperor Tianwu, who managed to free the ancient continent from their control. However, before Emperor Tianwu became Dongshu, all Emperor Dongshu originating from the ancient continent were affiliated with the 9 Heavens Holy Land. Over time, despite deaths due to exhausted lifespans, various factors contribute to the repeated accumulation of Emperor Dongshu within the Holy Land. Without exaggeration, each Holy Land possesses the power to control all 7 continents outright. They refrain only because they treat the continents as their natural breeding grounds. The cultivators on the continent compete with each other, with the final victor achieving the status of Dongshu and eventually joining them, thus enhancing their strength. This set of rules has been flawlessly implemented to benefit the Holy Lands. At this thought, Su Jie couldn't help but glance at Ning Yunying. Before he could speak, Ning Yunying seemed to know what Su Jie wanted to ask, and chuckled lightly. Are you curious why such Dongshu emperors choose to join the Holy Land? Other than the Holy Land's immense power, only within it lies the chance to break through to Crossing Dao. Moreover, the Thousand Immortals Association created by the 5 great holy lands aims at becoming immortals within this realm. This goal is elusive yet compelling enough to entice Dongshu emperors to join in droves. Su Jie nodded thoughtfully. Reaching the level of Emperor Dongshu means standing at the pinnacle of the Tianyuan world, lacking nothing in material or spiritual indulgence except one thing, the limitation of lifespan. Emperor Dongshu cannot escape the scourge of time. On the Blue Star, the more power and wealth one holds, the more desperately they seek methods to extend life, through freezing, blood transfusion, injection of medicines, organ replacement, and more. Take, for example, beautiful country's renowned magnate David Rockefeller, who lived to 101 and replaced his heart 6 times. Emperor Dongshu is human too, sharing human emotions and desires. As those with unified magnificence crave life and covet worldly wealth and authority, Emperor Dongshu does not wish for their hard-earned cultivation, capable of traversing heavens and earth, to turn into mere dust in the sands of time. This is an innate yearning for life shared by all beings. Only the Holy Land holds the chance for breakthrough to Crossing Dao, granting a lifespan of 1,000,000 years. Moreover, there's the legendary immortality, the ultimate dream of all cultivators in the Tianyuan world, the legendary immortal who can live forever alongside the heavens. Though to Su Jie, it appears much like the exaggerated promises depicted by leaders. The Emperor Dongshu joining the Holy Land remains lofty rulers and makers of the law, integral to the ranks of the ruling class. Their power does not diminish. Instead, they gain a further chance for advancement. Essentially, these Emperor Dongshu starkly contrast with the cultivators on the continent. One cannot expect them to safeguard the continent. Like the class struggles on the Blue Star, where the upper class rarely aligns their interests with the lower class populace, hence the saying that class struggle is the fundamental cause of all discord. Individuals like Emperor Tianwu who rebel against the Holy Land are rare exceptions among Emperor Dongshu. Crossing Dao immortality. A sense of urgency welled within Su Jie's heart, and his gaze inevitably locked onto Wei Yushuang. It seemed that his plan to overthrow the Daily dynasty needed acceleration. Wei Yushuang inexplicably felt a sense of unease, unnerved by Su Jie's gaze. Meanwhile, in the Tianyuan world, Jade Sea. This is one of the largest sea areas in the Tianyuan world, named for its clear blue waters resembling embedded sapphire. In the center of Jade Sea lies a cluster of islands scattered like stars, immortal mountains towering into the clouds. This is the base of the Nine Heavens Holy Land, renowned across the Tianyuan world. On one of the main island's immortal mountains, the sect leader of Nine Heavens Holy Land, Guizhou, arrived via flying magical boat, stepping upon the immortal land shrouded by formations. Although prestigious as the sect leader of Nine Heavens Holy Land, his cultivation was merely at the late-stage Purple Mansion realm, as those truly at the level of Emperor Dongshu had no time for mundane affairs, and he, the sect leader, mostly assisted the Emperor Dongshu with errands. The magic boat halted before the immortal mountain, and Guizhou approached a gate where a massive stone monument stood inscribed with the words Donghuang Mountain, accompanied by praises and commendations below, lofted on the blue sea, heralding the transformation of all beings. Purple airflow arrives from the east, giving birth to profound skills, empowered by the might of the great heavenly venerate, recognizing the position of Emperor Donghuang, governing the East Pole, cultivating a myriad of mountains, the apex of eastern mountains, generous in Taoist grace. To revitalize Xiangang, reporting Tao's grace above, aiding all beings below, great compassion, great vow, great holiness, great kindness. Thus known as East Splendor Fate, Emperor Shaoyang, great heavenly venerate Donghuang. Enter. The master awaits. A disciple was already waiting, leading Guizhou inside. Soon, within a cave mansion, Guizhou saw a figure seated atop the nine-headed coiled dragon throne. Clad in the emperor's robe, crowned with the mysterious crown. His face was as dignified as a deity, sword-like brows sharp as cold blades, eyes like abyssal seas, with 6 Yao trigram behind him resembling the carved laws of heavenly Tao, reflecting the vast divine miracles supporting all mountains and earth. Greetings, Emperor Donghuang, wishing the emperor endless blessings. Guizhou instantly knelt. Before him stood the left protector of Nine Heavens Holy Land, Emperor Donghuang, whose status and power far exceeded his own. Emperor Donghuang scanned coldly. Guizhou respectfully bowed his head, not daring to face the emperor directly. My disciple, Lei Zhe is dead. Emperor Donghuang's words boomed like thunder, shocking Guizhou with his very first sentence. What? Who dared to do this? Guizhou was aghast. Who was bold enough to kill the Holy Land Saint's son? He died in the ancient continent. Investigate and find the murderer within a month. Emperor Donghuang spoke concisely. Guizhou, still in a daze, found himself outside the cave as Emperor Donghuang waved his hand. Inside the cave mansion, Emperor Donghuang pondered. His consciousness fragment had perished along the Tao River, with no information returning. He merely knew Meng Lei Zhe's life card shattered, his own fraction destroyed, remaining ignorant of further details. Despite being Emperor Dongshu, he only received some permissions from the heavenly Tao. However, the Tao is superior to the heavenly Tao. Events within the Tao River eluded his awareness. Only within the heavenly Tao, meaning within Tianyuan world battles, could he faintly deduce something. If not for the concern over the 10,000 Dragon Pearl, the Tao treasure left by Emperor Tianwu, he would have immediately charged to the ancient continent to uncover the murderer. Kill my disciple, obliterate my fragment. Whoever you are, even if you flee to the ends of the earth, I will have you torn limb from limb, turned to ash, teaching you the lesson that emperors are not to be trifled with. Emperor Donghuang's eyes sparkled like lightning, seemingly piercing through the void to gaze upon the distant ancient continent. The emperor's imposing aura spread across Jade Sea, where the boundary between sea and sky suddenly opened a black rift. A dragon sucking water raised thousands of water columns. Purple Tao lightning filled the heavens, and torrential winds and rains surged mighty tsunamis, as though a divine fury sought worldly destruction. What do you want to do? On the battlefield of Dragon Sleep Mountain, after the war ended, Wei Yushuang planned to leave. However, as she tried to go, Su Jie blocked her path. Su Jie chuckled and said, "You don't think you can just leave, do you?" Wei Yushuang took a step back, her eyes filled with vigilance. She hadn't forgotten Su Jie's identity as a demon cultivator, nor the irreconcilable conflict between the daily royal family that she represented and the Ghost Ridge Palace that Su Jie represented. Although she was well aware of Su Jie's terrifying power, Wei Yushuang found it sorrowful to realize that in the face of Su Jie's unmatched strength, any of her plans and ideas were as futile as a moon in the water or flowers in a mirror. It was simply impossible to succeed, especially since Su Jie could even defeat a clone of Emperor Donghuang, let alone herself, a mere purple mansion cultivator. Qin Yushang saw this scene and was about to say something when Su Jie spoke first. "Princess, your Ghost Ridge Palace values talent regardless of its origin. Please come with me for tea. Don't even think about returning to the Imperial Palace." Su Jie spoke cheerfully, expressing his intentions. "Are you thinking of—" Wei Yushuang's face suddenly turned pale as she thought of the worst possible scenario. As the only purple mansion strength within the Dali royal family, her inability to return would undoubtedly be a colossal disaster for the Dali dynasty. Based on Su Jie's words, his real purpose became evident. They intended to send troops against the Dali dynasty. Why else would Su Jie be stopping her? Allowing a purple mansion cultivator to run rampant unchecked could lead to significant devastation. While she was nothing to Su Jie, on a normal battlefield, she could easily break up troops and create enormous casualties. "You're planning to wage war? My Dali dynasty is eternal. It is merely ill but will recover. You cannot succeed." Wei Yushuang clenched her fists, seemingly forgetting the disparity between them, and glared at Su Jie with indignation. "You may wait, perhaps the Dali dynasty can wait, but what about the suffering common people across the land, the refugees everywhere who are starving? Those forced to endure all kinds of harsh taxes, oppressed from above by corrupt officials and exploited from below by wealthy gentry? Countless families who have lost everything, selling their sons and daughters, reduced to mere skeletons by the roadside. Can they afford to wait?" Su Jie lifted Wei Yushuang's chin, forcing her to look him in the eyes. Before Su Jie could finish, Wei Yushuang's face grew even paler, and the resolve in her eyes wavered, leaving her looking pitiful. "That scoundrel, taking advantage again." Ning Xinyue pouted, fuming with anger. "Why does he have to touch other women while talking? If he has the guts, he should come and touch me instead." Qin Yushang looked towards her master, Zhang Qingsong, deeply resonating with Su Jie's words. It's fate. The Dali dynasty has indeed reached its end and has met its natural demise. Zhang Qingsong nodded slowly, agreeing with Su Jie's assessment. As the director of the Heavenly Patrol Department, he understood more than most. The Dali dynasty was rotten to the core, from the nobles down to the grassroots officials, all conspiring together. Whether in the Ministry of War, Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Justice, or Ministry of Personnel, there was not a single honest person, compounded by tangled networks of interest, families colluding with officials for benefit transfer, sect influences surpassing the court, countless dirty deeds. The Dali dynasty is a tree whose roots have long been rotten beyond cure. Such a tree should have been felled long ago, its corpse serving as nourishment for new saplings. This is a truth even children understand. Su Jie casually reprimanded Wei Yushuang, speaking forthrightly. Back then, Emperor Tianwu overthrew the previous dynasty because it had lost the people's support and was despised by the populace. Water can carry a boat but also overturn it. Emperor Tianwu thus raised troops to overthrow the former dynasty, establishing the Dali dynasty and renewing the sun and moon. Now the current state of the Dali dynasty mirrors what Emperor Tianwu overthrew, so I am carrying on your ancestors' mission. You should be thanking me. As Su Jie spoke towards the end, Ning Xinyue almost burst into laughter, and Ning Yunying couldn't suppress her amusement, a smile tugging at her mouth. He's about to overthrow someone else's country, yet demands gratitude for it. Only Su Jie could say such things. Wei Yushuang felt both anger and urgency inside, nearly breaking down from Su Jie's words. How could there be such an audacious scoundrel in this world? For Su Jie, the downfall of the Dali dynasty was inevitable, not because of the nobility in his words or various lofty principles, but because the existence of the Dali dynasty obstructed his path. Su Jie needed to establish a new dynasty to capture the heavenly Dao fortune. Without toppling the Dali dynasty, he could not build a new dynasty. Though Su Jie was acting in his self-interest, he hadn't lied. The Dali dynasty was like a patient with disease in its bones, riddled with countless parasitic interest groups. If it were on Blue Star, such a dynasty would have been overthrown by uprisings centuries ago. Only in Tianyuan world, where high-level forces like cultivators exist, could an ordinary army not change the situation. Now Su Jie planned to personally intervene, sealing the Dali dynasty's fate, and send it to its final rest. Wei Yushuang's face was filled with wrath as she turned abruptly and attempted to fly away in escape. Futile struggle. Su Jie shook his head with amusement, opening his left hand in a grasping motion. Wei Yushuang's body was instantly drawn back, and Su Jie grabbed her by the neck. "You dare not!" Before Wei Yushuang could finish speaking, Su Jie exerted force, knocking her unconscious. Someone like Wei Yushuang, a notable Purple Mansion cultivator with a decent reputation among the populace, also mattered to Su Jie as an example to the world. Being a descendant of Emperor Tianwu, Su Jie's Kunlun mirror likely came from Emperor Tianwu, and Su Jie considered that connection. Therefore, rather than letting Wei Yushuang return to cause trouble, it would be better to put her under house arrest first. Once everything is settled and I ascend the throne, Wei Yushuang will recognize reality and no longer pursue the unrealistic dream of saving the Dali dynasty. "Su Sect Master, I would like to have a word with you." Zhang Qingsong approached Su Jie, and, seeing that Wei Yushuang had only fainted, secretly sighed in relief. "Oh, just in time. I also have matters to discuss with your Heavenly Patrol Department." Su Jie nodded, and the two exchanged glances, each roughly guessing the thoughts of the other. Zhang Qingsong was the first to lay his cards on the table and said frankly, "Su Sect Master, in the upcoming battle, our Heavenly Patrol Department can turn a blind eye, but I hope that after the war, the Heavenly Patrol Department can be retained. All the cultivators inside are trained by us, and they have made great contributions to stabilizing the situation against demons and maintaining order among the sects and families. I don't wish for them to die here in vain, caught in the flames of war. They shouldn't die here. I beg Su Sect Master to preserve the Heavenly Patrol Department, and in return, I am willing to voluntarily resign as the director." Zhang Qingsong lowered his posture because he knew there was no room for bargaining in front of Su Jie. Between the Dali dynasty and the Ghost Ridge Palace, he chose to bet on the Ghost Ridge Palace to preserve the institution of the Heavenly Patrol Department, even willing to voluntarily resign as director, leaving Su Jie to appoint a trusted aide to take over completely. Su Jie smiled and said in a deep voice, "I agree to these terms." Zhang Qingsong was sincere, and this served Su Jie well. The Heavenly Patrol Department, established by Emperor Tianwu, had accumulated rich experience over years in dealing with demons and ghosts. In the waning years of a dynasty, grievances and various untimely deaths among the populace give rise to many fiends, such as fierce ghosts and zombies. But these demons and ghosts did not run rampant in the Dali dynasty, precisely because the Heavenly Patrol Department was exercising its functions, capturing and eliminating them. Otherwise, even more disasters would befall the human world. Recruiting the Heavenly Patrol Department would provide an organization spread across the entire territory for slaying demons and exorcising fiends, saving a lot of hassle. The more prosperous and peaceful the new dynasty, the more heavenly Dao fortune Su Jie would receive, and naturally he wouldn't complain. Could be said that Zhang Qingsong's disdain earned Su Jie a higher regard. Seeing Su Jie agree, Zhang Qingsong smiled and then seemed to think of something else, continuing, "There is one more thing. I wonder how Su Sect Master feels about Yushang." Upon hearing her name, Qin Yushang was taken aback and looked over with bright eyes. Yushang is a pure and good child, still unmarried. I wonder if Su Sect Master would be interested in forming a marital alliance. Zhang Qingsong finally revealed his intention to marry Qin Yushang to Su Jie. It was unclear whether he wanted to consolidate personal ties through marriage for Qin Yushang's emotions or make the Heavenly Patrol Department more stable through this union, as Qin Yushang came from the White Tiger Hall of the Heavenly Patrol Department. "Master, what are you saying?" Upon hearing this, Qin Yushang blushed deeply. Zhang Qingsong had adopted her from the western regions and brought her into the Heavenly Patrol Department for instruction. serving as both a master and father figure to her. In the Dali dynasty, many marriages were still arranged by parents. No, absolutely not. Ning Xinyue was even more agitated than Qin Yushang and shouted, "I do not agree with this marriage." She then put her hands on her hips and glared viciously at Qin Yushang. Clearly, she had come first, so on what grounds was Qin Yushang trying to steal the family? What does it matter to you if they get married or not? Mind your own business. Ning Yunying covered her sister's mouth, unable to watch, as her sister seemed eager to throw herself at him, leaving her somewhat helpless and amused.
Su Ye.
Under Ning Xinyue's fierce gaze, Su Jie waved his hand and said, "Let's discuss this later. The major tasks at hand are more important." With the key moment of seizing the throne imminent, Su Jie had no intention of meddling with matters of romance. Even if a marital alliance were to happen, it would have to wait until the universe was settled. In Qingzhou, at the mountain gate of Ghost Ridge Palace, tens of thousands of cultivators gathered, including not only disciples of the Ghost Ridge Palace but also righteous sects and demon cultivators from Qing Province, Chongzhou, and other places. In the rear of the battle line, thousands of spider main battle mechas stood in dense arrays, with 12 flying magical boats laying across the sky, and the imposing red shining immortal palace hovered mightily, resembling a heavenly city. More than 100,000 cultivators formed an army, with spiritual energy churning like the sea's eye, sweeping across the land. In the forefront of the people, Han Ruyan leaned elegantly on a chair, savoring fragrant tea, her red wedding dress fluttering in the cold wind. In another direction, Thousand-Handed Centipede was chattering away with annual ringworms in insect language, occasionally nibbling on rare gems, having a great time. As the Supreme Elder and former sect master of Ghost Ridge Palace, Zhang Junwei's expression was helpless. He couldn't afford to offend these ancestors, and with sect master Su Jie absent, he had to step up and preside over the major affairs. Everyone! Zhang Junwei cleared his throat, and the scene immediately quieted down. One by one, cultivators looked up at Zhang Junwei, all aware of what was to come. Zhang Junwei calmed his mind, strangely feeling a bit nervous. This grand occasion was one he had never experienced even during his lifetime as a sect master. Compared to the sect war between Ghost Ridge Palace and the head of Qingzhou Righteous Sect, Guanchao Pavilion, that was trivial. Now what they were about to do was to overthrow the entire Dali dynasty, take over the Central Plains, and strive for world supremacy. This was unprecedented glory and profit. If not for Su Jie's absence, it wouldn't have been his turn to preside. The sect master has commanded. Emperor Tianwu swept through the barbarians, recovered the Central Plains, laid the 1,000-year foundation, and bestowed great fortune upon countless people. Now a millennium has passed, and the current Dali is corrupt beyond repair, plagued by droughts and continuous floods, leaving the people destitute while the authorities are oblivious to the ways of governance, blindly indulging in lust and gluttony, abusing the citizens, ignoring their suffering, and deeming heavenly might to be unworthy of fear. This is the height of ignorance and immorality. As they say, when the world's seas are impoverished, heavenly blessings are forever lost. Now, Ghost Ridge Palace, commanded by the heavens, has rightful authority, gaining the favor of the heavens and people, with plenty of seasoned soldiers and ample provisions, a multitude of cultivators like rain, and flying boats like clouds, flags obscuring the day. This campaign sends our forces northward, destined to bring down our enemies with crushing might, rescue the people from the afflictions of fire and water, showcasing our military prowess, rectifying the society, and ensuring that the world shares in the joy of peace. Hereby proclaim to all under heaven. Zhang Junwei's voice spread throughout the Firefly Sea as he held Su Jie's edict and read its contents completely and accurately. Northern Expedition. Northern Expedition. Northern Expedition. 100,000 cultivators raised their faces, turning red as they shouted in unison, their astounding momentum shattering the cloud layer of the sky dome. Upon the flying magical boats and red shining immortal palace, numerous cultivators stood and beat the thunderous war drums. Expedition! Zhang Junwei waved a large hand, and countless cultivators began to move. Thousands of spider main battle mechas strode forward with 8 long metal legs, loaded with Yunling realm cultivators, raising dust and swirling storms as they marched northward. In the sky, led by the red shining immortal palace, 12 flying magical boats followed closely, forming a grand sky army. Various Ghost Ridge Palace elders summoned poisonous insect black clouds, filling the sky densely with insect clouds, sending chills down the spine. Other Hidden Realm elders employed a variety of techniques: sword control and sky escape, spiritual beast soaring, flying, and more. Above the vast cloud layer, the 33-layered heavenly palace cast its enormous shadow, its unparalleled pressure from the heavenly Tao spectacle greatly boosting the confidence of the cultivators. Zhang Junwei, observing such a grand scene, was moved, unable to help but feel sentimental. He never imagined, when choosing to pass the leadership to Su Jie, that Su Jie would have such capabilities and one day elevate Ghost Ridge Palace, once confined to Qingzhou and shunned by righteous cultivators, to such heights, about to ascend the throne of the world. Little bug, let's go. As the army set off, Han Ruyan put down her teacup and got up from the chair, calling out to the 1,000-handed centipede before disappearing from the scene, heading eastward. Chirp, chirp. The 1,000-handed centipede chirped twice, returning to its 1,000-meter-long chaotic true form, flying westward.